All right. Happy Monday. It is Donald Trump going to court Monday. All right. It's been a long time coming. A long time coming. We still got three cases to go. This is just the beginning. This is like the World Series. It's like the best of five. Maybe we can get a fifth indictment thrown on there so we can best go. Best out of five. Best out of five. All right. I only half-assed messed up the start of this show, so we're doing good so far. Welcome to the show, boys and girls, and everything in between. Today, we are going to be talking about things like Donald Trump going to court, Donald Trump's True Social stock crashing. We're going to be talking about things like what happened in Republicans last week. We're going to be talking about pro-Trump TikToks debunked by our guy Adam Mockler, so he's just going to do my job, and I'm just going to sit here and watch him. We're going to talk about debating a Trump supporter calling into the show. This is Karen Hunter. I don't even know who Karen Hunter is, but we're going to watch that. We potentially going to get to a real video by Legia Miller called Our Collective Distraction is Bad for Democracy. Yeah, that's your guys' fault, not mine. Definitely not my fault. That's definitely your guys' fault. Let's see. We're going to get to a Bo the Fifth column because we haven't looked at a Bo video in a really long time. We're going to take a look at a professional douche video because we haven't looked at his either in a while. It looks like the professional douche has not been sleeping well. He also looks like he might be George Santos, actually. We've got a Good Liars video from right outside the courthouse. That's how we're going to be doing our, that's going to be our reporting right there. Okay. And then, we've got a little Luke Beasley. So we're gonna have plenty to talk about today, my friends. Woke! What's up, Woke? What's up, Squid? Glad to see you guys. Appreciate you guys being on here. Let's see. So, as you guys know, today's the big day. It was the big day, guys. It was the big day. And Donald Trump spent his first day in court apparently yawning and trying not to fall asleep. This is what it's like to have a F ton of money and not really care about, potential criminal charges. Is you just show up and fall half asleep. The rest of us would be like on point. Like I'd have like 3 or 4 espressos before I got there. Like I'd be standing up there trying to defend myself, and the judge would be like, "Dude, it's not. Sit down. Sit down." Like that's what would happen. I'm pretty sure. Anyways, on this day that we're talking about the fact that Donald Trump is going to trial for potentially covering up some money that he was paying a porn star that he claims he did not have sex with that woman. He was also losing a F ton of money. Holy Jesus. This stock thing is through the roof right now. Through the roof. Spike, you're here. What's up, Spike? Trump Bibles for sale. Only $39.99. I can tell you this, guys. First of all, let's start off this segment by saying this is not financial advice. I am not here to tell you what to do with your IRA or where to put it or what to do with it. But I can tell you one thing I didn't do with my money, and that is buy what everybody considers a meme stock now. If something is called a meme stock, stay away from it. Bad idea. If you do not have diamond hands, or don't say things like apes together strong, or stocks just go up like rocket ship, stay away from these stocks. Bad idea. The very fact that Donald Trump's stock started out as high as it did, let me know that there was either a F ton of people that are out there right now that know absolutely nothing about investing in the valuation of a company, or potentially there's going to be a bunch of people that were maybe pumping up that stock, do a little dumping, do a little trumping, a little pumping and trumping. That's what I call it, pumping and trumping now. That's what I'm going for. Yeah, Trump's in court today. My taxes were done. My taxes were done a long time ago. Okay. What up, Mike? My taxes get done early. I don't like to be worried about whether or not. I want to know how little I'm getting back every year. These children, they used to be worth more money. They're not worth so much money anymore. My children. So anyways, let's take a look at the beginning here. As True Social stock crashes as Donald Trump maneuvers to sell his own shares. If you do not understand what's happening right here is Donald Trump is trying to introduce millions of new shares into Truth Social, which is going to dilute the stock, which is going to be bad for stockholders. I don't know what to tell you guys anymore. Like, if you haven't figured out right now, by now, that buying stock from Donald Trump is a bad idea, I don't know what the hell I'm supposed to tell you guys. Don't buy his Bibles. Don't buy his shoes. Don't buy his goddamn stock. That shouldn't even be a question. Oh my God. Anyways, he's trying to put forth millions of more shares because obviously he's trying to get some more money. It's going to dilute the shares. Shareholders are screwed. He's also trying to figure out ways to sell his stock now because, of course, his net worth is plummeting. It's plummeted by something like $5.3 billion since this began. And that wasn't even his money. That was your money. And he's also trying to convince the SEC to let him sell these shares of stocks, which, please God, don't let him have friends in the SEC. But he probably does. Let's be honest. He probably does. The timing of the latest shellacking is particularly interesting. It comes after Trump made the first moves to cash out, likely leaving investors who have already seen their holdings crumble out to dry. I just read this story about this guy who was like, yeah, I bought a bunch of the stock, but I know it's declining, but I'm going to hold on to it because I believe in Trump. Aren't you guys tired of winning now? How tired of winning are you guys? Trump supporters. You guys just can't stop winning. You follow this guy. This is that picture of the people following, the lemmings following the guy off the cliff. This is literally what's going on. You guys are just following him right off the cliff. And he's tossing Bibles and shoes and stocks behind him. You guys are just fucking catching it like it's like it's the bouquet at the wedding. I'm next! Pick me! I'm next! God damn. It's kind of sad, to be honest with you. I feel bad for you guys. Let's see. The news comes after TMTG shares have been on a precipitous decline, slumping to less than $27, significantly less than half of what they were worth around the time of the merger last month. And if you guys don't know this, analysts. Now, these analysts aren't political. They're not Republicans. They're not Democrats. They don't give a shit about anything but stocks. And they valued Truth Social stock at a whopping $2 a share. $2! There are people that bought this shit at like $60. I know that Trumpers are not good at math, and I understand that. But let me put this in terms that maybe a Trump supporter can understand. You're fucked! You've been complaining about Joe Biden's economy while your IRAs are going through the fucking roof. You're complaining about Joe Biden's economy while your 401ks are fucking skyrocketing. And you're like, you know what, though? I'm pretty good with money. You know what I'll do? Buy Trump stock. Maybe get me a Bible with a Constitution fucking layered inside that sucker. Hell, how could that go wrong? True stock's the new crypto. 100%. That's a good call. Oh, God. Figured you'd fall asleep in the afternoon with Adderall wore off? Oh, man. Wonder if you'll cut up the suit he wore today to sell. That's the only way. This is where we're getting to, guys. This is where we're getting to. And people will buy pieces of his suit. Oh, my God. True stock for me every day. What's up? I can never say. I'm just going to call you Lori. You know, I can't say Liberes la Palestine. I can't say that. Come on. You know that's not my trailer park vocabulary. I need a phonetic spelling of that first word, Lori. I need it like sounded out in trailer parkese. The company, however, still needs permission from the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. Trump would also need the green light from TMTG's board before selling, which shouldn't be too difficult given his personal standing. Those are words that should never be uttered when talking about a board that potentially is going to screw over a ton of old people that bought his stock. Whatever he wants to do, bro. Just let him sell it off. Dude, oh my God. This is just like, this is insanity. This is like, if there's anything that could best describe Trump supporters, it is this shit right here. But let's go and let's take a look at what happened last week. A little Republican on Republican violence. Let's take a look at what happened last week.
Okay, I like murderers, that. Drug dealers, mental patients, and terrorists.
How did we mess up a country so quick?
I don't know, but the Matador.
Oh, I think we've seen this one. All right, play. We play it again.
Is the Matador.
President Trump selling a Bible is kind of a regular guy thing to be doing.
What? Oh, shit.
I didn't know what hat I was wearing.
I know a man who only drinks liquids that have been around for 1,000 years. Only drinks tea.
Wait. Did you guys see Jesse Waters' dumbass? He said, I think he was on the Patrick Bet David podcast, and he said, did you hear about these fast food workers? They're getting paid $20 an hour now. Yeah, that's like 6 figures. I just can't even. Jesse Waters, like, we thought there was no way that they could replace Tucker Carlson. And they did it! And they did it! That just shows how easy it was to get just another dumbass like Tucker Carlson. They're like, dude, we can just pick a dude off the street. He can say dumb shit all night long. $20 an hour to make 6 figures. Does Jesse Waters know how many hours per week you would have to work to make 6 figures off $20 an hour? God damn, these people are dumb. Oh, Christ.
Wine and water. Should he drink a Gatorade because it's new? Because it has electrolytes, Jessica? Of course not.
Well, who just Planet Fitness? Like, what are they doing? Like, Ben and Jerry's? I don't want to put any targets on people's back. Target. It's new.
Oh, Kid Rock's still trying to be a rapper. He's still trying to be a rapper. He's like, Target, yeah, shit. Drop that one on him. Boom! Another hit. Oh, anyways, gotta go outside and shoot up a 12-pack of Bud Light. I mean, actually shoot up a 12-pack of Bud Light.
In New York, they'll convict a ham sandwich if it has Trump's name on it.
If you have
that's
aliens
Dershowitz
invading your home, we will deport you.
Biden's senile to have bisexual people advertising to get into service now.
He's a little. Hold on. Wasn't that a talking point like 8 years ago? Wasn't it the bisexuals in the army? Wasn't that a big talking point like 8 years ago? Maybe this gentleman just hasn't caught up yet. Maybe he's still not woke. He's still not awake, guys. Wake up, sheeple! Oh, Nick Fuentes. Haven't seen Nick Fuentes in a while. I'm gonna get deplatformed for having this fuck on my show.
Are wrong. Democracy is wrong.
Oh yeah.
Feminism is wrong.
Oh okay.
Contraceptives are wrong.
Just last week, Master Lock. I buy Master Locks. Closed down. Now I won't buy them anymore. Then I'm making it.
No, it isn't said to be wrong.
Oh shit.
Anti-Semitism, denying
What?
the Holocaust, being racist, being whatever, being a sexist.
I feel that it's full.
I just want to point out to you guys, there is not a lot that hurts my feelings, okay? There is not a lot that hurts my feelings. But the fact that Nick Fuentes has as many people following him as he does, that shit hurts my feelings. That gets deep down inside, like that many people are following that goddamn dork. And there is no better word for Nick Fuentes than dork, okay? And that's not something you can usually say about certain crazy racists. Generally, a crazy racist, he's a piece of garbage, terrible human being, utter waste of life. Now that motherfucker's just a dork. He just straight up. Have you seen the video of Fuentes fighting his friend in the hallway of like some nice hotel, and they're slapping at each other? Like, dude, oh my God. What up, DJ? Oh, you invested in the Flippy the Robot Burger Flipper? That sounds like money right there, bro. Welcome to America, the world's toilet. Oh, wait, the toilet is useful. Yep. 5,000 hours times $20. So, what does that break into? It's about almost 100 hours a week, right? Oh, man. I can't. I can't. Jesse Waters just admitted that he knows a person that doesn't drink anything less than 1,000 years old.
Full circle on the word Corona.
Right.
Oh no! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Did you guys hear about the Fox News where they were talking about the immigrants that were waiting across the border until the eclipse happened? Like they were gonna sneak in while it was dark. Like they wouldn't just do that at nighttime. That shit is the most, like, Fox News can literally take anything to do with the border and apply it to anything to do with what's going on. Like, didn't they link it to the Baltimore Bridge thing? Jesus Christ. And Trump supporters are like all they do is sell fear. All they want you to do is be afraid of all these things. They're like, no, I don't. No, I don't. Like, some kid went to have lunch the other day. Anyways, your kids, they're going to be kidnapped by people that come across the border while they're eating lunch. Just so you know, we know that. We've seen it happen. Let's go over to Bob. Bob, yeah, somebody's definitely kidnapped some kids. They're across the border in Connecticut. It's the fucking craziest thing.
I'll be charged with treason along with the President of the United States and...
I actually like this guy.
By a rope.
Oh, never mind. I didn't say I like this guy.
Find any political agenda in this story, can you?
Exactly, but I did feel bad for the Corona beer during the coronavirus.
If you want to be right with God, you must oppose all this stuff.
Oh my God. The sound just tells me God isn't with this, man. Like, God's just up there right now like, not me. Not me. I didn't have anything to do with any of this. Ain't no Trump Bibles, no Nick Fuentes, no fucking Ben Shapiro, or what's the guy, Charlie Kirk. No, I think God's up there just, no, hard pass. I don't want anything to do with any of this shit. Please leave me out of it. Don't bring my name into this. Oh, man. Grapers? What's a graper? Fuck, I need to Google that. I'm too old. 2 minutes of dark. 2 minutes, yeah. They're just gonna sneak in with the like a bunch of, like, I guess it's not just Mexicans, right? There's Hondurans and there's Chinese people and there's other places that are south of America. Geography, not my strong point. Like, they just all, like, band up and they're like, okay, all right, get ready. Like, the sun's about to get blocked and then we're gonna all sneak across the border. I don't even know what that accent was. I'm not sure what that accent was. Whatever that accent was, those people are also there to sneak across the border as well. Like, it could just do it at night. Like, you're going to wait for the 4 minutes that the eclipse is going to happen, then they're going to sneak across. Like, all the Border Patrol agents are going to be pulling a Donald Trump, and they're all going to be staring at the eclipse, and, like, fucking Mexican people are just going to be, like, fucking ducking and running really low past them. Jesus Christ. And the fact that fucking people believe this, that's scary. Like, there's some old white person somewhere right now, they're like, yeah, you hear a bunch of the Mexicans came across the border while the eclipse is happening. Yeah, Joe Biden wasn't paying any attention. They snuck right through. Yeah. Hell, it did at least 13 million. I heard there was at least 13 million snuck right through 4 minutes. I keep seeing this too. I keep seeing Joe Biden's world record immigration numbers. It could, like, that terminology doesn't even work. A world record for the United States? Wouldn't it be like a national record? Can we at least get that part correct? Is it like a Guinness Book of World Records? Do they keep those stats? Do you have to bring the Guinness World Record guy down to the border and he's like, ooh, number 1, 2, 3, 4? What the fuck? The amount of control that is going on in these people's heads, and they think that they're like, nah, we're the ones that we're awake. You guys need to wake up to Joe Biden's border crisis that's happening during the eclipse. Joe Biden pulled the moon down in front of the sun so that way he'd get more Mexicans in so he could vote and they could get him in. That's what's happening. Jesus Christ. Gone in 60 seconds, the eclipse version. Oh, man. All right, anyways, let's read a little bit more about this. Investors already lost $5.3 billion on shares of Trump Media and Technology Group, with Donald Trump himself eating most of the losses. Shares of the money-losing holding company plummeted 59% from their high notched on March 27th, erasing $5.3 billion in wealth, says an Investor's Business daily analysis of data from the S&P Global Market Intelligence and Market Surge. Once again, these aren't, you can't blame this one on the Democrats. You can't be like, they're just spinning it, bro. They just want Donald to look bad. That's my president. That's my president. No, this is just some fucking nerds that are like, dude, money makes money. I like money. That's what's going on here. And they're like, also, Donald Trump bad. Take a look at this chart. Take a look at this chart. This is right about here is where they're like, look at that. Someone bought this stock, guys, for $71.93. Someone bought this stock for $72. It is now, the low today was, or the last, when it finished out at, it was $26.61. Holy shit, dude. The guy that I was reading about had put $25,000 into the stock. It's never going back up to this area, guys. Fucking spoiler alert. It's never going back up there. Let's see. Trump himself is taking most of the hit. Trump owns 58.1% of the company, making him the largest shareholder by far. He's already lost $3 billion from the position from its highs, and he's down $1.8 billion from the day the SPAC deal was finalized. Holy Christ. A number of factors are at play. The company losing millions of dollars doesn't help. The company reported a loss of $21.9 million in 2023 in a regulatory filing released this month. So, this is the thing. This is like the very epitome of like some Wolf on Wall Street, over-the-counter, pink paper stocks. There's nothing there. There's nothing to value. They don't have anybody. They have something like 460,000 monthly users. To put that in context, I think Facebook has 147 million. There is no value there. Zero value. Holy shit. The company lacks the financial resources it needs to sustain operations for a reasonable period of time, which is considered to be 1 year from the date of the issuance of the financial statements. As a result, these factors raise substantial doubt about the company's ability to continue as a going concern. The financial statements do not include any adjustments that might result from the outcome of these uncertainties. Once again, I'll put that in plain language. It's not going to exist in a year. Not profitably, at least. The stock is going to literally go down to $2 at best. And at worst, you might be talking about a penny stock. I might be trading this bastard. Oh. Additionally, short sellers are piling in to bet on a fall. But since so many shares are held by insiders, they're not easily borrowed and shorted. That makes shorting difficult. Literally, like shorters, like people that want to short the stock are salivating so much and they can't get it away from the insiders yet. Take a look at these numbers. Lost value from merger, $1.8 billion. Lost value from the high, $3.093 billion. Nobody with any sense has bought this stock. There are no major players that have bought this stock. Once again, nothing to do with politics. This has nothing to do with Democrats. It has nothing to do with Republicans. They don't want anything to do with this stock. The only people that are buying this stock are like 65-year-old white people that are like, that's my president. He's going to pull us out of this, brothers. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. And you know what they're going to be doing 2 years from now if Joe Biden gets reelected? They're going to have lost their entire goddamn life savings to Donald Trump's True Social stock. And these people are going to be going, this is all Joe Biden's fault. Donald Trump's stock being 47 cents a share now. Joe Biden's fault. It's because they hate him. It's because they hate him. Jesus Christ. Oh, holy shit. It's a meme stock. Anything called a meme stock, you should stay away from. Stay away from meme stocks. What is wrong with people? Like I said, this is not investment advice. I'm not telling you what to do with your money. But the people that know anything about stocks aren't buying his stock. You can see right here who has his stocks. They're not people that you would usually trust. Kathy Wood is not buying this guy's stock. Hell, Elon Musk isn't buying this guy's stock. Speaking of, Elon Musk is dropping, 14,000 people? Missed those quarter ones. That's kind of rough. Sorry for people that work over there at Tesla. I feel for you. Thoughts and prayers. All right. Let's get on to the good stuff. Let me stop ranting about people's poor financial decisions. And this is, like I said, this is my problem with this, is that people are going to say this. People fucking quote me on this. If Donald Trump wins the election, they'll figure out some way to blame the stock being, oh, God, the Democrats are shorting it. There's a bunch of Democrats that are shorting it. They don't want him to win. And if Joe Biden wins, they're going to be like, it's because Joe Biden's bad economy. His bad economy is screwing us all over. Donald Trump, poor Donald Trump. He was a billionaire. And if Joe Biden wins, Donald Trump's ass is going to prison too. So there's also that. It's a Trump and dump. It's a Republican Trump and dump is what we call it. Random. No longer called a pump and dump. Now it's called a Trump and dump. Exactly. Stock bros play the short game. Exactly. Anybody that's actually ever dealt in any stocks at all knows it's a gigantic gambling facility for rich people. That's what stocks are. Stocks are a place for people that want to retire to put their money into and hope and pray. Thoughts and prayers. And for everybody else, it is a gambling addiction. And I watched a bunch of people during COVID lose a lot of money because that is a game that, once again, you are not equipped to play, because there's a bunch of people out there going, you know what, I think this shit's going down and I'm going to put money on that. Oh, it's a Trump and dump. All right, well, let's listen to Adam Mockler talk about TikToks. I don't go on the TikTok, guys. All right, that's my old white person conspiracy theory. Okay, I don't be on the TikToks. I don't want them to have my informations. Okay, that's where I'm at with that.
So TikTok has been dominating the political
Tots and
landscape
pears.
for people in my generation, and I don't go on it much, but every time I do, I see
Good job,
the most
Adam.
brain-dead takes about how Joe Biden sucks, about how Donald Trump was the greatest president ever, or the
Someone
most
shared a
egregious one,
TikTok
that
with
Joe
me
Biden
today
and
that was
Donald
just
Trump
pretty
are
much that.
effectively the same. So I think it's worth it to go into the trenches to combat some of this disinformation that we see, because whether we like it or not, a lot of people do get their political takes solely from their favorite TikTok content creators. And this 60-second video format doesn't really allow for you to get through all of the facts in a fair way.
Oh,
it's just
no
sort
way.
of a highlight reel of your best opinions
We're gonna watch a
of the
video
day,
on that.
or sometimes your worst opinions of the day. So this guy, unfortunately, is our first victim, our first breakdown. He made a TikTok called Top 10 Reasons Why Joe Biden Truly Sucks.
Can't
Let's
wait.
dig into this.
Today I'll be ranking my top 10 reasons on why Joe Biden truly sucks. I was trying to just pick 10 reasons was truly hell.
Oh, that
but,
1.5.
We haven't even started, but I can already tell this guy's list is going to be insufferable.
Joe Biden running his presidential campaign is the great unifier, and then when he becomes president, doing everything but unifying. He consistently calls out mega Republicans and continues to divide the country more than it's ever been in recent history. Number 9.
Homie, you're voting for the guy whose claim to fame in American politics was coming up with nicknames for people he didn't like he's a kindergarten. He comes up with nicknames for Democrats, for Republicans that he calls Rhino Republicans. This guy spends all of his time on Truth Social attacking the media like a little child, like an infant, and whining about...
Literally, this is one of my favorite Biden sucks because he's dividing our country. He posted about the LGBTs on Easter Sunday. Oh, did you know that they've actually been, using that day for the last 15, 16 years? No, I didn't hear what you said. It doesn't matter. He's just so divisive. He wants to turn the children gay, and he wants to let people come in and teach your kids about the trans rights. Well, hold on. Are you trying to say that he's trying to include people? Because that seems like it's the opposite of being divisive.
Things that don't go his way. Donald Trump couldn't even keep a cohesive cabinet while he was in the White House because he was dividing the people in his cabinet. I mean, there's a list of 30 people that worked for him.
Literally divided his own side. The great divider.
Endorsing him. Donald Trump is the most divisive person ever. And to act like Joe Biden is somehow divisive when he's pretty boring. I mean, I don't find him boring, but
yeah.
He is not divisive whatsoever.
Once again, I try to make this argument all the time, people. He is milquetoast. Joe Biden was literally picked to be the left's anti-Donald Trump because he's milquetoast. Because he just gets up there and he's just grandpa. He just says the shit he says. He stays away from the controversy. They're like, he needs to be out there talking more and insulting people. Because if he started doing that, I'd vote for him. Goddamn right. If he put them gays in their place, tell you that right now, I'd vote for him. Bro, like that is not what a fucking president's supposed to do. Joe Biden is milquetoast. Joe Biden was picked because he was going to just run the country and not say a bunch of dumb shit. It was like the exact polar opposite of the last 4 years before him. That's why he was picked.
Ever. Joe Biden is the guy that constantly says, I am not a president for Democrats. I am not a president for Republicans. I am a president for all.
Nothing divisive about insurrections.
A single quote that Republicans love to pull up where Joe Biden talks about MAGA Republicans, but if you watch the entire speech, you see the context of that full minute where he's talking about this. What he says is, I'm not talking about all Republicans. I'm not even talking about most Republicans. I'm talking about the sect of MAGA Republicans that are holding the entire party.
And this is exactly what I keep saying. When people come on here and they're like, well, it's like, no. There is a big difference between being a conservative. There's a big difference between being a libertarian and then being a crazy Trump supporter that believes that Joe Biden is a skin suit or that Donald Trump is still the president or any of the insane theories that Trump supporters have. There is a huge difference. I've even said this multiple times, that there are people that are potentially going to vote for Trump that are even part of that sect. There is literally a cult called QAnon where they said, I will vote for nobody but Donald Trump, and after Donald Trump is gone, I'll never vote again. That's a completely different sect of people.
Hostage, but they love to.
He's literally divided even the Republican Party.
Somehow, this one quote supersedes all of the.
Yeah, MAGA is not conservative.
All of the divisive rhetoric that Donald.
They are
Trump
the
has
actual
used
rhinos.
Over the past few years. I mean,
MAGA are the rhinos.
A riot at the Capitol while Mike Pence was certifying the election results. This guy, Donald Trump, knows how to divide people, knows how to get people riled up.
It's fucking insane.
Old Joe Biden somehow is dividing our country. Yeah, I don't know.
I like that Thoughts and Prayers is winning, just so you guys know.
In the midterms, Joey promises students free college. Problem is, Joey knows he doesn't have the authority to forgive student loans, so it's been held up in the courts.
Biden.
Hold on. Before Adam Mockler gets into this, how much money has he forgiven now? Didn't he just do a little bit more? Dude, and not to mention he tried to do it, and they're like, no, we don't want you to do that. I am pretty sure. Oh, God, I wish I looked at this number this morning. God damn it, I wish I had this number in the top of my head. I want to say it's in the billions. I want to say, I could be wrong, though. I'm not going to say because I don't know. I looked at this number this morning, though. I'm so upset.
Has forgiven tens of billions of dollars in student loans. Just
Thank
yesterday,
you,
he
Adam
passed
Mockler.
a $7.4 billion bill to pass student loan relief. His plan was never to do the Bernie Sanders thing and wipe out all student debt in America. He has always been for targeted, means-tested student loan relief towards the people.
Yeah, and it's all for people that have already been paying on their debt for 10 and 20 years. Like, we have this crazy, idea that people have to suffer. Like I suffered, so you suffer too. If I made people go through the amount of shit that I went through when I was a kid, people wouldn't be here. That's the fucking craziest idea, is that because I went through something, everybody else has to go through it too. There are people that have literally been paying on their fucking debts 10 to 20 years. It's just not even good for the economy, even if you want to speak about it on a strictly economical status. Like, if that money is going to the banks, it's not going into the economy. It's not, you're not buying shit. There's no consumerism. Like, we're just going to move on.
People that need it the most, but God forbid some school teachers who are struggling to get by get their debt wiped, or God forbid people who dropped out of college and still have all of this debt are able to have their loans relieved. I don't think we should be relieving student loans for like doctors, people that are going to be out earning the average citizen anyways, but if there is a teacher who is struggling to pay off their loans, of course we should pay off these student loans.
It's
but
so
this
insane.
guy, I guess, is against any of that. He'll probably call it socialism or communism,
Yep.
even though Biden
Communism.
is far from a communist.
He's gonna drop a communism.
refer you to this video.
America is a nation.
Sort of spicy. There is a supreme lack of empathy. Yes, I agree. He looks like you're in
Yeah, Joe Biden's old, but he would run circles around your guy, Donald Trump, when it comes to any topic, especially foreign policy. Imagine if you sat down Donald Trump and Joe Biden and you asked them to explain the history of...
It would start with, first of all, China.
Israel and Palestine. Biden would absolutely wash Donald Trump. And if we're going to play this game of pulling 5-second clips out, then Joe Biden would totally win that game.
Once
Donald
again,
Trump has so many clips where he's saying the most egregious stuff. And notice how this guy conveniently doesn't talk about Biden's State of the Union speech, where Biden did amazing. He barely stuttered at all. He did an amazing job articulating what we should do.
Yeah, but 90 minutes is well past the average Trump supporter's attention span. Let's just be honest. That's not fair to them. Joe Biden needs to start making 60-second TikToks so that way he can reach them. 90 minutes, like a full-blown speech with big words, full sentences. That's too much to handle. Like, the brain's going to shut down. It grinds to a halt. The fucking smoke comes out the ears. You hear that fucking clank and the fucking the gears smash against each other. You gotta make TikToks. That's the only way that you can reach them. Just you gotta be on the TikTok.
Going forward. But, of course, even with his State of the Union speech, Republicans pulled out these 5-10-second clips and acted like that was evidence of dementia or whatever. They did the same thing with election fraud. I mean, there's that case that I always talk about in my videos where they pull a suitcase of ballots underneath from a desk. But this is a 5-second clip. This is a 5-second clip where if you look at the full context, like the judges...
Dude, and people do this shit so many times. Somebody shared a clip with me, and it was Obama, and luckily I know the whole speech, but it's Obama talking about how easy people are to manipulate nowadays. Now, in the speech that he's talking about, he's literally saying this is a bad thing. He's saying you just play a clip, and people will believe it. You just, put forth all this misinformation, and people will believe it. But you can even tell by his tone of voice that he's not talking about it in a way that he's saying that you should do that. He's saying that you should be actually aware that this shit's going on. And instead, people cut that shit and then use it as misinformation. It's fucking insane. Let's see. Joe Biden can't say big words. Bro, that's, what is it? He ain't talking too slow. He ain't talking too fast. You're listening too slow. Okay, Mac dude, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry, but you might not be able to comprehend words larger than 4 letters at a time. I understand. I feel for you, bro. The educational system's broken. It must be tough. It must be tough to sit around and listen to a person talk and not comprehend a goddamn thing they're saying.
Then you see that this 5-second clip was taken out of context. But I guess that's how Republicans get their news. They need it fed to them in 5-second clips.
You sound like him too, stuttering.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh shit, Mac dude.
Idiot.
That took you a minute to come up with, bro. You doing okay? I hope you didn't hurt yourself.
Idiot. I don't.
Biden choosing
Were those small enough words?
Were
those small enough words?
Nothing in her vice presidency, but at least she can tell a good fake story.
And I said, well, why are conservatives bad, Mommy?
You can't type?
To conserve things.
Sorry, buddy.
I mean, first of all, how do we even
Can't
know
type
that story
fat?
is fake?
What the
It was
fuck does
literally,
that
again,
mean?
A 5-second clip where she could have been telling a broader story.
The fuck
That is
does
a
can't
totally
type fat
believable
mean?
story.
Oh,
And
fat.
I
Sorry,
hate to
sorry,
bring it
sorry.
Back to Donald Trump, but if you don't like somebody lying, maybe you should vote for the guy who spews lies out of his mouth every single second. Donald Trump can't go one speech without lying or.
And this is once again, this is the problem. Like I said, people have the right idea and the wrong argument. Like, you can't complain about somebody lying and then have Donald Trump be your dude. Like, Donald Trump, like, he lies, like, it's just a part of him. It's just who he is. That in China, all right? That's just who he is as a person. He has never stopped lying. No one has ever told Donald Trump the word no, so he doesn't need to. Even nowadays, you motherfuckers are buying his stock. His stock is absolute garbage. People that have nothing to do with politics claim it is worth at best $2, and you fucking people bought it for $70. Hi, Jesus Christ. There is no hope for you guys. Yeah, there's no hope for you guys. No, I'm not going to kick you, bro. I'm not going to kick somebody because they can't fucking type fast.
Or without talking himself up in a way that just isn't fully true. So Kamala Harris was a great VP pick. The first ever woman vice president who was a minority.
Yeah, the Trump supporters coming here and they're like, I said like 4 words. I'm owning the libs.
In 2020, yeah, she said some bad things about Joe Biden, but the reason Joe Biden picked her, he said this himself, is because he wants someone who can challenge him, who can keep him in line, and who can keep him up to date. Because yeah, he is old, sure.
Oh, does that make that doesn't make any sense.
The Chinese government. China has donated over $54 million to UPenn, where the Biden Center is located. Number 5.
Wait. So how does that have any money from? Hold on. Dude, you guys are fucking reaching at this point. You guys are fucking reaching so hard. You're like, so there's a building and it has Biden's name on it, and China, through some company, donated to that building. Biden is owned by China. Like, do you guys even fucking think before you speak? No, you don't. It's fucking obvious. Jesus Christ.
China, but then you point to UPenn, which China donated to. But again, I'm going to bring this back to Donald Trump.
Woke.
He conveniently leaves out, or he has a double standard, that Donald Trump and the cronies under him, people like Donald Trump Jr. or Jared Kushner or Ivanka Trump.
Let's call T out. T, how did Donald Trump's policy help America? Tell me how Donald Trump's, because I can tell you right now why Joe Biden's has. I'll tell you what, T. I will tell you how Joe Biden's has if you can type in fucking chat how Donald Trump's policies helped America. Tell me how they helped America.
We're making deals with China, making deals with Saudi Arabia, and getting billions of dollars. They were using Donald Trump's presidency to boost their own business. So this idea that Joe Biden,
and we paid for that
donations
shit
from China, which didn't even happen.
Which didn't even happen.
Look at that slippery little tricky rules. That this is somehow bad or egregious, I really just don't understand.
Exactly random.
I can already see number 5 right here.
It's like they got right idea and the wrong argument every time.
Against the black community. You think I meant Trump? No, I meant Biden. Take a look.
Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids.
Let's take something he says out of context and then let's use it like he's racist. This is the same shit that Trump supporters accuse the left of. Like, this is the fucking irony, the fucking hypocrisy. You took something that he said, obviously that he wasn't trying to, he's not like, black kids aren't as smart as white kids. He didn't fucking say that. It's fucking dumb, and you know it's dumb, but you don't care because the people around you are like, that was fucking genius. Hell yeah, brother.
Figuring out what you're for Mayor Trump, and you ain't black.
We're getting to the meeting.
He clearly misspoke. This is not a guy.
Mac, dude, you're a moron. You come into the chat insulting people. You literally came in and fucking said shit that's insulting, and then when people insult you, you do the same thing every Trump supporter does. That's what you guys do. You go straight to insults. You guys always come into the chat and say shit, and then when people come in there and say shit back to you, you're like, yeah, fuck you, brother. Oh, you're insulting me. And then you're like, you guys are snowflakes.
Who has a history of racism. Joe Biden was the VP for the first black president. You think Obama chose a racist vice president?
Yeah.
Joe Biden is absolutely more welcoming.
If you want to have, a
Party.
conversation, then have a conversation. Don't come in and talk shit to people. Because when they talk shit back to you, you deserve that shit.
Misspeak, which is what Joe Biden does, and actually enacting racist policies like a Muslim ban, which affected my family personally.
First of all, you called me fat, bro.
But I don't want to keep pivoting it back to Donald Trump, even though it's fair to do. I want to try to keep.
And did you say this guy stutters just like Joe Biden? Did you fucking say that?
That was allowed to fly over the entire.
Did you fucking say that? You did say that.
Administration doing virtually nothing. Now, as our commander in chief, you could have shot.
This guy stutters just like Biden.
Understand that means you wouldn't have received as much money from China.
What?
Nice.
I mean, maybe the president of the United States had some intel that you didn't have TikTok.
You guys just don't have a lot up here, so I'm gonna let you go on this one, Mac. I'm just gonna let this one go because you ain't got a lot going on up top.
China, it's just absolutely absurd. I really don't get it. But yeah, Joe Biden probably.
I feel bad for you, dog. I want you to talk. I want you to have a conversation. But if all you can say is dumb shit, then we can't do that.
And I'm almost goddamn sure that a Republican administration would have done the exact same thing. They would have waited until they had all of the intelligence because
look at that, gets called out for talking shit. And he's like, yeah, anyways.
Would be so impulsive that they shoot down everything in American airspace. Maybe, I don't know.
The top three, these three things really grind my gears, and I'm Aaron Gear, so I know. Number 3 is
Jesus
the inflation
Christ.
crisis that
This guy probably has like 4 million people following him, huh?
Interest rates. But don't worry, because Biden says he's adding a lot of jobs. What he doesn't tell you is that those jobs are virtually all minimum wage and are just jobs that we're regaining from the COVID crisis.
Are you talking about the worldwide inflation that was seen everywhere
global?
In the world?
Global inflation?
Crisis, and that America actually had the lowest inflation in the world due to things like the Inflation Reduction Act? I mean, Republicans will stub their toe and blame it on Joe Biden. A lot of the economic crisis.
And I'll even make this one for him. Here you go, MAGA. I hope you guys are fucking listening. You're making the wrong argument. You're complaining about the economy, and you're claiming that it's because of inflation. But then you're claiming it's because of gas and housing prices. Gas and housing prices are not included in inflation. You want to be arguing that CPI is out of control. Now, I know that's a lot of letters for you guys, and I know you guys hate the 3-letter acronyms. You're like, FBI, CIA are corrupt, CPI is corrupt! But this is your actual chance. CPI. If you guys want to make an argument as to why the economy is bad and who it's bad for, then you need to go and look up what CPI is. Because you continue to make arguments on topics that don't make any sense at all because you're including factors that don't actually or aren't actually involved in inflation. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Crises
I'm just trying to help you guys.
Were a direct result of COVID.
What up, bro?
Donald Trump's lackluster, terrible response to the COVID crisis, and also Donald Trump adding $8.4 trillion to our national deficit. They always say Donald Trump is very intuitive when it comes to our economy, but he put us in a terrible position. I mean, this is another case of Democrats having to come in and clean up the mess that Republicans made. We saw this again in 2008 during the housing crisis. Then Obama comes in early 2009. In January, he was inaugurated, and by about...
Once again, every time Republicans are in office, and I can even tell you why this is true, every time Republicans are in office, the debt goes up. This isn't something that you like someone can lie about. You can literally go look this shit up. Just go look this shit up. The debt goes up. I can even tell you why. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Because Republicans give tax cuts to wealthy corporations, and then they don't cut entitlement programs because they ran on cutting entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicare. But if they were to actually do that, then half their base would no longer be Republican because they'd switch to Democrat in a fucking split second if they thought that they were going to lose these social safety nets that they claim they don't like. That's why. Because when you cut taxes for the wealthy and you do not cut entitlement programs or administration, the deficit gets larger. It's just fucking math. Oh, Christ.
2014, the stock markets were already back to all-time highs. Things
Stop
are
it, bro.
basically moving back to normal. Democrats constantly have to come in and clean up the mess
Jesus
from Republicans.
Christ.
And then people like this guy, Aaron Gears, blame it on the
I
Democrats.
love Trump.
It makes zero sense. But yeah, inflation is reducing.
I love you guys.
Consumer
You guys are
sentiment is
amazing.
increasing. We are seeing things get better across the board.
They
and
have
that should
no
scare
idea what
people
they're
like
talking
you, Aaron.
about.
Because I don't think he actually cares about the American economy. He just cares about attacking the other side and making it seem like they're at fault.
It never takes
everything.
long, Jess.
And then number 2 is a classic, the southern border crisis. While Kamala Harris flies to South America one time in the past 2 years to figure out the root causes, millions of illegal immigrants have flooded our country. And the number one reason...
This one is too easy to debunk. First of all, nothing fundamentally changed when Joe Biden took office. He didn't all of a sudden click a button on his desk and open the border up. The border has been a mess for decades. It takes people a while to...
Yeah, and every fucking 4 years, all of a sudden, everybody becomes border experts. If there's anything that I'm willing to say about this that can kind of like bridge the divide a little bit, is that it's bullshit that it's only every 4 years that we talk about things like this. The fact that people like literally don't know anything about a subject until all of a sudden it becomes popular is this new instant fucking expert society that we have. All of a sudden, everybody knows how to fix the border. Well, that's fucking weird because we've gone through decades of not fixing the border. The Title 42 literally didn't even go out until 2023. Title 42 was the main reason that Donald Trump had the numbers he had. Joe Biden wanted to continue building the border wall, something that people on the left, specifically progressives, were like, fuck that shit, don't do that. He wanted to do it. Joe Biden was like, okay, why don't we put forward a fucking, a bill? Let's have you Republicans write it. And people were like, fuck that shit. Even the Republicans said, fuck that shit. It's a vehicle to get you worked up, to make you feel like you have a dog in this fight. Because in all reality, Donald Trump doesn't, like, any way support the things that you care about. But every 4 years, it's like, hey, watch out, there's Mexicans. They're going to come over during the eclipse. That's what's going to happen, brother. Oh, Christ.
To immigrate over, so they do it in illegal ways, and they do it in ways that aren't
DRH,
very optimal.
you are a troll, and you're not even putting
But
much effort
Joe
into it.
Biden tried to pass a historic
You gotta put more effort into
bill
it.
that would provide border security that 17,000
Yeah, there's Chinese people and
border agents
Guatemalans, I
signed
think,
on,
too.
and they actually
Hondurans.
said
Goddamn
this bill would help us
Hondurans!
A lot. But Donald Trump, who has all of Congress wrapped around his finger,
Oh,
or at
shit,
least
T,
all
are
of
you finally
Republican
catching up?
Congress wrapped around his finger, told them to shoot.
Hold on. We're going to answer T, because T actually answered. T, you say no inflation, lower gas prices, less immigrants, more policy that kept money in the Americans' pocket, less money dished out to countries that doesn't have America's best interests at heart. First of all, why didn't we have any inflation, T? Who was the president before Donald Trump, T? Was it Obama? And did it just so happen that Obama's economy was ripping on its way out? And did Donald Trump have the lowest gas prices because Obama had the lowest gas prices? Even if you look it up, the national average, Barack Obama beat him by a penny. And the only reason that he had the economy he did have was because of the person before him. So go ahead and take that and connect it to the next president and ask yourself, why potentially was there inflation in 2021 when Joe Biden took office? Was there a global pandemic? Was it poorly handled by a guy that said something like, don't worry, there's just one person that has COVID and we caught him at the airport? Do any of those things have anything to do with inflation or the gas prices? Does it have anything to do with anything? Less immigrants. Just as he just pointed out, Joe Biden didn't change anything policy-wise except for stopping building the wall and a couple like humanitarian things. Up until 2023, Title 42 is still in place. And then, as I said, Joe Biden tried to push through legislation that even people on the left didn't want him to push through. And Republicans said, nah, never mind. I know we're the ones that wrote the bill, but no thanks. How does any of that make sense, T? How does any of it make sense? Tell me. That's insanity. And if you want to be completely fucking honest, and I'm being nice about this, 2020 was his year. And wasn't 2020 like 8% or 10% inflation? Are you a plant because you riding Joe's dick hard? T, that is the worst. What the fuck is a plant? What is a, why are you calling me, what am I, like fucking a wheatgrass? Is that a ginger joke? Is that a ginger joke? Are you making fun of me being a ginger, T? Cobra Commander is back. Cobra, I missed you. His first executive order to roll back some of the immigration policies, like I said, look it up. What did those border policies do that changed the border situation? Almost nothing. Almost nothing. 2020 was stolen. T, there's absolutely no evidence, zero evidence that the 2020 election was stolen. He literally paid third parties to come in and research, investigate these things. A fucking group called the Cyber Ninjas. Who the fuck hires a group called the Cyber Ninjas? Donald Trump does. You know why? Because nobody else would work with him. Because they knew he was wrong. And they knew attaching their names to his bullshit was a bad idea. No, it wasn't stolen. It wasn't stolen. It was legitimately won by the guy you don't like, and that hurts your feelings. I understand. I get it. You're in a cult. You love the dude. You think he's fucking amazing. His orange glow just attracts you to, it's like you can smell the Cheetos on him. And you're like, fuck, I need a piece of that. I get it. But it wasn't stolen. He literally investigated it. He fucking paid people from third parties that testified in court. They didn't find any fucking evidence. You're people that fucking put together the fucking 2000 Mules movie. They put that movie together. And when they sat in court in 2024 in Georgia, and the judge in Georgia said, bring forth the evidence right fucking now, or you're going to go to jail, they're like, you know what, we're going to drop it. It's all good. No problem. We'll let it go. No. No. Jesus Christ. There is zero evidence that Biden got the, well, other than the fact that the evidence is the votes themselves. Pro. Literally. Literally. The evidence would be the votes that he got. But he seems like they're getting the blood pressure up. Oh, every day, Jeremy. My secret is I'm always high blood pressure. Donald Trump's makeup is on point. DRH, that's a little bit more trolly. All right, now you're coming in harder. You're coming in harder, buddy. Good job. I don't know what you guys are talking about, Cobra. You're gonna talk that out with whoever you're talking about right now. Trump people love conspiracy. That's what I'm saying. Y'all just love fucking changing shit. You like making up stuff. I get it. It's understandable. You guys would be fucking great fan fiction writers. I don't understand why you guys don't make money off of your skills and creativity. I'm fucking supporting you. You guys start a Kickstarter, I'll put in $4 right now. I'll fucking put in one Trump stock. $4, okay? If you guys start a Kickstarter for fan fiction about the government. Because you guys are writing some fucking doomer fantasy fiction. It's amazing. You guys are good at this, but none of it's fucking real. Shit. Am I from Seattle? I don't know if you're talking to me, but no, I am not from Seattle. You know, Seahawks, this is a Philadelphia Eagles sweatshirt. You woke Democrats need to wake up. Your electric vehicles thing is hurting the world more than gas because of the mining of ethanol. I think you just spelled that wrong. Respell that, Dark. I don't think you got that one. Fly, Eagles, fly, baby. I heard they signed Devontae today. I heard they signed Devontae 3 more years. If we get the defense together next year, you guys are fucked. Just want you guys to know that. Feelings are still hurt from that Kansas City Super Bowl. But we're coming back, boys. Jesus. He was the best president ever. And great in Home Alone. DRH, now you're putting in some real work. I'm telling you, Trump fan fiction. These guys are missing. They're missing their chance. You guys could be making so much money. You guys could have like an OnlyFans for other Trump supporters where you get up there and you just talk about conspiracy theories. Look, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm just saying, you start yourself an OnlyFans where all you do is talk about how Donald Trump lost the election. Now, don't think about this too hard, guys, because if you think about this, it's going to be like a bunch of old white dudes that are in their like 50s and 60s jerking off to this. So don't think about that. That's probably going to ruin it for you. But you guys stand up there, you tell a bunch of conspiracy theories, you talk about how Trump lost, you get really fucking worked up, and all these guys old guys just jerk off to it. That's a win-win situation for $9.99 a month. At least that's what I would charge. Damn it, Cobra, I knew you were a Chiefs fan. I should have known you were a Chiefs fan. Pro, that's mean. That's mean. And fucking, you guys are hurting my feelings. As soon as my one feeler is in pain right now. Fantastic investment opportunity. I'm just saying. You guys can steal my idea. I don't mind.
Put it down because he knows that having a crisis at the border helps his chances of re-election. So the current crisis that we see can be blamed on Donald Trump. And I hate to try to shift blame around, but we literally had a bill sitting there that had funding for the border. It had funding for Ukraine.
Those are facts.
And Republicans decided
Y'all
to
saw
nuke
that
it.
shit
They nuked
happen.
The entire bill. You can look this up. It happened. So this idea that Joe Biden just wants there to be an open border is not true at all. But what do you expect from a TikTok dude?
Why Joe Biden truly sucks.
Let's see number one. I cannot wait.
Yeah, I don't know,
to see how you top
Spikin.
this list
I didn't know
off.
what he was going for.
Overseeing of the
I didn't know what he's going
withdrawal
for.
from Afghanistan.
I've
The
never
withdrawal
minted the
that
ethanol.
Donald Trump set up via the Doha agreements, the withdrawal that Donald Trump had the timeline placed out for.
Once again, guys, Trump supporters, you could make arguments, but you guys make all the worst arguments. Like, there are arguments that you guys can make. I can still, man. You guys need to just start funneling me money. Because I make your arguments better than you guys do. I have better arguments for the bullshit you guys believe. Maybe I should start an OnlyFans. OnlyFans where I give Trump supporters actual arguments that they can use in arguments. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This is a lot like training a fighter that just, he ain't going to win. Like, you put in a lot of work. You got him showing up. You got him running 5-6 miles. You fucking getting him do 200, 300 push-ups. He's working the bag. He's doing 12 rounds at 3 minutes apiece. And then you put him in there and he gets knocked out in the first round. That's probably what's going to fucking happen. But I could start an OnlyFans for you guys where you guys pay me $9.99 a month and I make arguments for you. Because you guys... Your main problem is your arguments suck. They're terrible. They're all about appeals to emotion. They're all about fear and hatred. And everybody just kind of looks at your arguments and they're like, damn, that shit's really bad. And I feel bad for you. And you should feel bad for yourself. Like, that's really where we get with this, guys. If you guys want to, like, I don't know, PayPal me some money or something. Like, you guys right now, okay, if you want to, you super chat at me something that you want me to make an argument for you. And for like, let's say $9.99, I will still man your argument for you. $9.99 right now, Trump supporters. You tell me one of the things that you're pissed off at the left for. You're tired of getting owned by these goddamn liberals. These damn leftists. They're always fucking with you and calling you names nowadays because your guys started calling them names and then they started calling you names and now you don't know what the fuck is going on in your life. You guys pay me $9.99 right now. You ask me to steel man one of your positions, and I will give you a argument that you can take out into the real world, and people won't look at you like you lost a chromosome. Okay, that's what I'm going with. All right, you guys, we can work together. We can make this financially beneficial. All right. I'm just throwing it out there.
Joe Biden just followed. I mean, there was no reality in which the withdrawal from Afghanistan.
Trump's underwear.
Was there for so long and had spent so much money.
Wait, do you want me to still man Trump's underwear? It's the nicest. I tell you this. I wear boxer briefs. Boxer briefs are the best. Really? I mean, when you wear the boxers, sometimes when you have a little mushroom tip, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good. But the boxer briefs, they really hug. They hug the mushroom. They make it feel larger. It makes you feel like a really big man. I'm telling you right now, I like Hanes. I like the gray Hanes. The women, they say the gray Hanes, they're the best Hanes. They feel really good. The women, Stormy Daniels said, she said, wow, that looks bigger. That looks a lot bigger in those boxer briefs. That's my best still, man. Sorry. That's all I got for that one.
That it was just time to get out and stop risking American lives. But this is a guy who will say that Joe Biden loves endless wars. And then when Joe Biden pulls us out of one of these endless wars, one of the best examples of an endless war, this guy all of a sudden thinks it is disastrous. Joe Biden did what he could with the information he had. We lost a few lives, but this was bound.
What's happening, Bucket? I see you now. She didn't say that on Jimmy Fallon. I don't know what you're talking about. Woke's always lying about me. Always lying about me. I tell you, this person, Woke Dragon, I can tell you this right now. Says all the meanest things. Doesn't understand that the boxer briefs make it look bigger. Stormy admitted it. That's why I had to pay her $130,000. I had to pay her $130,000 because she's like, wow, I don't know if I could get enough. There's just so much in those boxer briefs. There's only so much that one porn star can handle. Okay, I'm gonna stop.
Bound to happen. Any reality, any of the million different realities, this would have gone not optimally. But I'm actually proud of Joe Biden for not being afraid to get a little bit of egg on his face and just pull us out, knowing that it would be a hard decision. Knowing that presidents like Donald Trump and even Barack Obama failed to pull us out, Joe Biden decided it's time to stop this war. I guarantee if I talk to this guy and I ask.
And one part of it is getting it down to 2,500 people. So there's a lot of decisions that were made before Joe Biden was office that put him in a really tough place. Now, most of the generals that were asked about the pulling out of Afghanistan did agree that it 100% could have went better. But when we look back at like what happened leading up to that and the fact that we kept bringing our troop levels down further and further and further, which was emboldening the terrorizers, and to use George Bush language, terrorizers, it was emboldening the terrorizers to become more and more violent. That's literally why that dude, while they were trying to fucking pull the troops out and the civilians out, blew himself up at the gate, is because there wasn't enough people left over. Donald Trump had already started the process of whittling down the troop numbers. In fact, he used that. He stood up in front of everybody in Waco and said, I got the number down to 2,500. I did. It was a great number. It's my favorite number, 2,500. Ask anybody. I love 2,500. Yeah, you can't sit here and blame Joe Biden for the very plan that Donald Trump had created. You can say, if you want, once again, here, I'll give you a free one. You can say that in processing Donald Trump's plan, that there's potentially something that could have been handled better if maybe, just maybe, Donald Trump didn't just fucking try to burn the White House down on his way out and instead communicated with the new president. Imagine if the former president wasn't so convinced that the election was stolen, so busy trying to illegally overturn it, that instead he was talking to the incoming president to help him handle the situation in Afghanistan better. Imagine that! Can you imagine how much better it would have been if there would have been some fucking communication between the former president and the current president? Even Obama left Donald Trump a don't burn the house down note behind. This is what I'm saying. You guys make the wrong arguments. You guys always make the wrong arguments. President discussed. Sorry, Jess. Sorry. I don't even want to live. No, you should definitely live to see the election. I drink wine. Don't say things like that. You drink wine. Just drink more wine. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Okay? Don't say things like that. Hundreds of Americans were left behind. Of course he lied. Of course he lied. They knew they were going to rush during the evacuation. The evacuation was happening slower, and they tried to rush it faster than generals thought. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. Like I said, you can talk about things that were actually wrong with it. Like, that's the difference between people that are voting for Biden and people that want to vote for Trump, is if you want to sit here and talk about whether or not it could have been handled better, I don't even know all the fucking details, and I bet it could have been handled better. Like, that's just being an actual fucking critical thinker. You know, one of the things I think I've said about this channel, but I'll say it again. My biggest influences in my life are people like George Carlin, people like Bill Burr, people like Jon Stewart, people like Steven Pinker. I know that's three comedians and then like a social psychologist. But that's about the way I think, right? And George Carlin had this whole thing, right? Where he said, I love individuals, but I hate groups of people. And that's the fucking truth, man. It's like, what it comes down to is when I pull one of you fuckers out of the group for 5 seconds and go, but don't you think you could make better arguments? Don't you think there's other positions that you could take that potentially you could have better conversations with people? Then you guys are like, oh, yeah, actually, you know, probably, brother, but, you know, I'm still voting Trump, but, you know, actually, good conversation. Like, the problem is your guys' groupthink. That when you guys get together and you're culting it up super hard and you guys do the secret handshake and you guys drink a little Kool-Aid and then you perform the circle jerk, you guys, like, you can't think straight. You gotta pull yourself away from the cult a little bit. Discuss the fact that there's absolutely no fucking way that Donald Trump is a perfect human being. Zero chance that Donald Trump is a perfect human being. The only person that could fucking possibly believe that shit is Donald Trump. But you guys somehow believe what Donald Trump believes, and that's fucking brain breaking. Oh my God. And look, like I said, love George Carlin. I don't want anybody on here to think what I think. No, I just get up here, like George Carlin said, to show people that someone thinks. To show people that somebody wants to think. That it's not about just being a fucking hive mind or an ant or a bee and just doing what your fucking leader tells you to do. Joe Biden does things that are wrong. Joe Biden isn't perfect. Joe Biden has made a lot of mistakes in his past, many of them chronicled in the 90s. Hell, the Democrats as a whole during the 90s made a bunch of fucking mistakes. But somehow I can say that, and then I go, your turn, you tell me something Trump did wrong, and you're like, nothing, absolutely zero. Fucking love those boxer briefs, I'll tell you that right now. Gray's a good color. Fucking love gray. Gray's a good color. You know what I'm saying? Do you know what I'm saying? Mikey, if I'm not funny, why do you keep coming back? Why do you keep coming back? You guys are addicted to getting shit on. You guys have like a weird quirk, a kink. And I don't kink shame, Mikey. If you like getting a little shit on your chest, it's on you, dog. But you can't come back. You can't come back multiple times getting shit on your chest and then be like, I don't like getting shit on my chest. No, you like shit on your chest. Okay? It's okay. I'm not kink shaming you. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming back, Mikey. Love seeing you guys in the chat. You guys make my show. Let's see. We'll get to that one. Let's listen to, you know what? No, actually, no. We're not going for Bo yet. Bo's too calm. Bo's a little too calm. Instead, let's go ahead and watch The Good Liars. And I just want to point this out to you guys. Right here, we can already see the caption. Okay, we can already see the caption. Soros-funded district attorney in order to bring this case. I am so glad to see, Republicans, that you guys have reverted back to using conspiracy theories about Jewish people. Because the world, it seemed weird that you guys had all of a sudden decided that you're super big fans of Jewish people after you guys, had been spreading conspiracy theories about the Great Replacement. It just, reality has taken a turn back to Republican normalcy now that you guys are back to using Soros as your boogeyman. Like, fucking insanity. How do you guys make this right in your head? How do you guys make it right? That you're like, we support the Jewish state, but also all Jewish people are bad. How does that happen? Oh, Christ. Thanks, KK. Appreciate you, KK. It's a humiliation, King Chess. That's what I'm saying. Mikey Pikey just comes back and just like all over his chest. He likes it warm and he likes it wet. He likes it all over his hair. I'm sorry. Sorry. Do you watch The Good Liars? January said, I think this might be it. I don't know which one I'm on right now. I don't know which one I'm on, Jeremy. Naughty Nana. Guys, if you like my stuff, you're going to love Naughty Nanas. So make sure you go over and subscribe to Naughty Nana Does. Naughty Nana, like I said before, Naughty Nana's a pro. I'm just a dude up here trying to act like somebody gives a shit about what I think. Naughty Nana, actually, she's amazing. Yeah, so here we go.
Funding district attorney in order to bring this case. There's no underlying felony.
I'm going to give you $5 here. It's a hush money payment. If you can just leave.
Here's the deal, my friend. That has nothing to do with it.
So we are here in Lower Manhattan, outside the courthouse where Donald Trump is set to appear today for the first day of jury selection for the Stormy Daniels hush money case.
That's right. Behind us, you can see about maybe 10 to 15 Trump supporters.
Thanks,
about
Nana.
50
Appreciate
members
you.
of the media. So the media is really showing out today.
Don't
Donald
forget
Trump,
to subscribe,
at the
guys.
speech, in Allentown, he said he wanted people to be there, show their support, and it looks like the people that came were about, like you said, 15 people, and Laura Loomer screaming at the top of her lungs in a bullhorn.
Oh,
Apparently, a few
God.
days ago, also he said to stand back and stand by.
$10? Woke it might be a
well,
good
that's what he
investment
said
at that point.
to the Proud Boys.
Right.
At one point, but I think
don't
people
think
have
he's
stood
not
back.
financial advice.
Stand back and stand by.
I think he did.
Did he really?
Oh, well, look it up.
No, he
We'll look it
literally
up.
said
Clip
it.
in here
Okay.
if he did, but
I think
either way, I
tweeted
think
it saying this is what they're saying here. This is the implication.
well, the
of it.
implication seems to have kept people
I'm
way
pretty
back.
sure he said that.
So far back, that they didn't even show up.
They didn't show up.
Yeah.
They didn't show up. And when you
This is my favorite conspiracy within a conspiracy within a conspiracy. So what happened when Donald Trump went to trial the first time in New York, when he had to show up and like do the whole mugshot and all that bullshit that was on TV? QAnon people, because they had a journalist in the QAnon cult, and he was part of their Telegram group. Apparently, Telegram's wild. It gets crazy over there. Monkey torture videos and Trump supporters everywhere. But apparently, they passed around, do not show up to the protest because it's a false flag event and they're going to round us all up like January 6th and put us in prison. You guys are literally your own worst enemy. You guys, do you guys understand that cults literally eat themselves? Like it's like an Ouroboros. Is that how you say that word? That's a big word. It's a hard word. Like an Ouroboros. You're just you're eating your own a-hole, okay? And I'm going to tell you this right now. You guys are screwing yourselves. Donald Trump tells you don't vote by mail. Y'all are like, fuck yeah, I'm not voting by mail. Holy shit, Donald Trump lost. How did that happen? How did Joe Biden get so many votes? None of us voted by mail. You guys are like, dude, fucking January 6th is going to be lit. And then you show up and you go to prison. And you're like, don't show up to the New York trial. There's going to be tons of us. But then you're like, don't do it. You guys are your own worst enemies. You literally, when you guys end up losing, I want you guys to look back at this video and go, that fucking bald ginger was right.
You look at it and you see that there's lots of Trump supporters. You should also keep in mind that I would say probably 15% of those Trump supporters, those 15 people, maybe 20%, are people pretending to be Trump supporters who are wearing Trump hats but they're
I'm gonna have to check it out, Jeremy.
Correct.
I will look that one up.
15, you got to subtract. Three or four
of them.
Yeah.
But we do know a lot of the people here. We know Brian Glenn from Right Side Broadcasting. He was over interviewing some people.
We know the Jews
RSPN?
control everything guy.
Oh yeah, Peter. Look over here.
Oh, Jews
there
control
he is,
everything.
in a ski mask over there. He's got a giant sign. You see him with the cross? He's got a white hoodie with a cross around his neck, a giant crucifix.
I need these guys to go ask the Jews control everything, whether or not he supports Israel and the Israel-Hamas conflict. I just want to see his brain try to make the mental leaps that it has to both claim that Jews are in charge of everything, but also that he supports Israel. I need to see this. Can I super chat the good liars? I need this in my life.
And he's the guy that DeBrum talked to who said Jews control everything.
Right.
You think Jews control the country?
Yeah, they control the fucking country.
Oh, interesting.
They control Wall Street, they control the banks, they control Hollywood.
Oh, hell yeah, brother!
Every fucking building in New York City is owned by Jews.
Hey,
fucking close.
I'm Jewish.
I don't give a fuck.
Hey, you gotta get out of
I ain't
here.
going no
I control everything. You gotta go.
no fucking way.
You gotta go. I'm Jewish. But I control everything. So you gotta go. You gotta go.
Movement.
I'm just saying it.
Fuck.
So there you have it. Jews control everything. I
He
was
didn't
able
ask
to
him!
clear the square there.
God
I just
damn
commanded
it!
him to leave, and he left.
Oh.
No, it's true what they say. Jews control everything. DeRom's a Jew and took care of that. Yep. In his defense, DeRom,
I did control him.
You did control
right
him,
after.
and you are Jewish.
And that was. I'm not gonna say my bad. I don't regret it, but it was unfortunate to confirm some of his stereotypes.
Right.
It was an unfortunate
Yeah.
moment, but he did
Yeah.
clear the area, and so
People are like,
as
these
a
people
Jew,
don't
I was
exist.
grateful for that.
Dude, you're exaggerating. These people
With
don't
great
exist.
power comes great responsibility, though. And I also see that you haven't used your power to get everybody else out of here. You believe in free speech and things like that.
I believe in free speech. Also, I want to see what happens, right? It's a little boring
Don't we
to
all?
just snap my fingers and clear the area. So we're gonna wait on that.
So we're here,
Uses magical
in
Jew
the
powers.
section of the park that has all the Trump supporters in. Most of the people here are media or trolls who are
Right.
just here
or
to,
people who live or work
just
in
here
the
to
area
prank people.
and thought, this is weird. I'll check it out.
Right over here is
That is one of the strangest parts about the whole Trump rally, Trump like cult thing, is like this weird mixture. You have people like these guys. You have people like Adam Mockler, who's like debating the people, right? You have the good lighters who are fucking with people. And then you've got merch people that, like, I'm not sure that they're Trump supporters as much as they're loving the grift. The grift is strong. It feels good. So they bring T-shirts and flags and fucking paraphernalia, all those things. And then you have, like, your random crazy person like the dude that they just interviewed. And then you've got, like, your straight up, like, Philly fanatic, Chiefs Kingdom, fucking, like almost like sports athletes, or not sports athletes, sports teams supporters. They're like the chick with all the fucking makeup and the big police hat and the dreads. Like, it is a fucking circus. And people are like, nah, dude, Donald Trump, he brings in the best people. He brings around completely sane people. Like, this is not, if we are judging this based off the people that show up to these things, on either side, it's not really the most sane people.
the Jews control everything guy. He's the guy DeRom talked to.
Is Ivanka Jewish? Is that true?
A year ago.
Jews versus TikTok.
Are you trolling me?
I don't know if the Jews are winning or not. I don't know what the implication of that sign is.
Jews versus TikTok.
Every night on what's going on with your.
It's like it goes to spam.
Do Jews not like TikTok?
So I will check on that. I don't know if the Jews versus TikTok.
What's the score?
Who's winning there? So.
What's the sign say here? What's the sign say here?
Jews versus TikTok.
Can we see it? Can we see it for the camera here?
Dude, this man put in work.
Jews versus TikTok. What does that mean?
How much work was that?
Jewish groups are trying to get TikTok banned, and they're using Congress to do it under a false pretense.
You think Jewish people are just getting rid of TikTok? Really?
Doing their best. Look it up.
Hold on, are there any Jewish people watching? Jewish people? My 13-year-old would like to talk to you. My 13-year-old has the bone to pick with you, Jewish people. How dare you? Why would Jewish people hate TikTok? Like, Jewish people have a lot of battles to fight, apparently. They're trying to replace the white man. They're trying to get TikTok taken down. They're owning all the news media. Oh, Christ. Wait, do they say Christ? I don't think Jewish people say Christ. You guys, if there's any Jewish people, I need to confirm some conspiracy theories with you guys. And don't just say you're Jewish, okay?
The ADL.
TikTok's gone. It's off the App Store.
Well, that's what you guys
I'm
want.
Jewish.
That's what you guys want.
No shit.
Right,
Poor
there you have
Ivanka.
Jews
I can't
really
believe I
do
just said
control
that.
everything.
I can't
Some
believe
Trump
I just
supporters
said
are very
poor
big
Ivanka.
flags, but for every single Trump supporter, there's probably about 3 people from the media there. So it's a pretty exciting
49%
scene.
or
The last time we were
51%,
here,
Levon.
there was a woman. I guess it was
But
right
yeah,
when he
50%.
came in to be arraigned. There was a woman who was trying to stomp on an anti-Trump flag,
right?
And then she fell over. I think it was right here.
Yeah,
She
that is the
fell over.
funniest shit.
Are you
Oh!
okay?
Oh!
I saw a video. You fell down.
Baby? Are you okay?
You fell on the ground, right?
I think I fell, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay?
She is so
Are you
drunk.
Okay? It was a nasty tumble.
Yeah, it was a moment in which she was showing her support, but she
God.
didn't have enough support of her own.
Very
She
well
tumbled
said.
down.
Yeah.
But some people don't know what this trial is actually.
What do you think, guys? What percentage do you think of the people that are there are drunk? How many people? Like, I'm going high 85 to 90 percentile of people that are at this event are under the influence of, let's say, 6 to 8 shots. That's what I'm going with. If I was there, I would definitely be on mushrooms. I'm just going to throw that out there. There's only one way we're getting through this, and that is with the mighty magical power of psychopsilocybin. That's what I'm going with.
Actually, about people are calling it Stormy Daniels hush money. That's true.
Oh, laugh
But
out loud.
also,
Trolls in the building.
There was a story about another affair. There was a story about Donald Trump potentially having fathered a child with someone who worked at Trump Tower.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. In the catch and kills for the National Enquirer.
That's right. Yeah. So it was about paying to stop stories from getting out, and then hiding those payments from the authorities.
Right, because it was a campaign payment.
That's the actual law, and that's actually a misdemeanor.
Trying to kind of reclassify this to people as an election interference.
Oh, I'm sorry. The original
more
covering
like
up is a misdemeanor. The tying it to the fact that they're trying to hide it from the government would be the potential felony.
Here?
Oh man, this is fantastic.
You're excited about today?
Oh, extreme.
Okay, I don't know if this guy's about to say that he's here for Trump or if he's not, but I'm telling you right now, I like that energy. That's the kind of energy I would have if you walked up to me and you were the good liars and you're like, how you feeling? I'm like, damn, this is fucking amazing.
Why?
I just think it's, it's good for the country to see a spectacle like this.
I don't think that that's true.
It's
We have diverted.
It's amazing. We're in a free society and we can come together like this. And all the
Okay, I agree with that.
Just shows that we're the freest place in America.
This guy's whipsawing me back and
a little
forth.
sarcasm from you.
Maybe a little.
Are you upset about the trial?
I'm not happy.
Yeah, it's like WWE. Exactly.
Why is that?
Because I think it's all made up.
Oh, there it is.
Trumped up, no pun intended.
Did you look at
In what part? Yeah.
Did y'all notice the energy? The energy went from like up here and it just like brrr. He just went brrr. The energy went way down.
Alvin Bragg. That part.
He's not real?
Not a real person? Or?
I think he's doing this totally for political purposes.
He's being indicted on a
Oh, look at this dude!
misdemeanor that's past the statute of limitations.
Hold on. What's up with that shirt? What, does he have a candy cane? Is this Santa Claus? Is Santa Claus a Trump supporter? My kids are going to be so disappointed in you, Santa Claus. What is up with this shirt, though? Is that a Santa shirt? What the fuck is going on? Guys, somebody help me. Why isn't this like right now? Why is he dressed as Santa Claus in April? Did he not get the memo? It's almost Cinco de Mayo. Is Santa Claus a Cinco de Mayo thing? El Santa Claus? Holy shit.
Alvin Bragg.
No, that's the wrong guy. Edward the Collector has fangs, Jeremy.
FAT?
Edward the Collector has fangs.
Why are you calling him that?
Well, he is, isn't he?
What would you call Santa, though, if you had to describe Santa?
You're into
Holy shit, he is Santa.
Yeah. So I don't know. I have a little bit of trouble with the optics of it. I think people are not gonna love that this feels like especially the moments that are in question are kind of private moments, like affairs, or whether or not he's the father of a child. If they had been shady business dealings, exactly. So
I'm dying.
It's easy for supporters to write it off like it would be any
man.
other of his tax violations or his. But it seems like
drink Corona.
A relatively small financial crime. I don't think it is, but I think that's what it's going to look like. And I think it's the only one that's going to actually affect whether or not he's convicted of anything before the election. So I think it's not a strong.
Hold on, Spiking. Yeah, what would conservative Santa look like? Conservative Santa's like, look, kids, what do you think? You just deserve gifts because it's Christmas? Is it your birthday? No, it's not your birthday. It's Jesus' birthday. Why would you get anything? When I was your age, I was walking 3 miles through the snow to and back from school. Okay? Also, we need to talk about the border. Like, what do you think Santa's policies concerning the border are? I would like to go back to Santa. Can we go back to Santa and ask him what he thinks about the border issue? I'd like to hear what he thinks about having borders, period. This doesn't seem in the Santa spirit. Oh, my God.
Strong one to lead with, in my opinion.
Well, there are some people, like we said before, there's like
Exactly
protesters
what?
here for Donald Trump.
Holy shit.
And a couple minutes ago,
bringing back good
Laura
coal.
Loomer and some of her friends, the super friends,
Right.
Laura Loomer,
The loud
super friends
group.
They were giving a press conference, which was her yelling in a bullhorn and then
I was
other
going
people.
to say, that's a press conference
Oh,
nowadays?
Laura
I think
Loomer
so.
is the
Yeah.
most
It's just the lady
annoying
with the
person on
bullhorn
earth.
screaming.
Well,
so loud.
Now the Jews control
think
everything, guys.
there's
Giving a
others.
press
It's a
conference over here.
complicated-
The media's all around him trying to see what he say. But they were giving a press conference. Then Andrew Giuliani was
Right.
there, and you were kind of getting a little annoyed by like how loud everything
I
was.
wanted
over there.
him to hush a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, this is when
and
he
I
tries to get the
realized
money-
I looked in
money
my
to the
pocket.
dude.
I had a few bucks.
Yeah,
I had a
nice.
few dollars. So I figured I would give him a hush payment.
Soros funded district attorney
Laura
in order to
Loomer.
bring this case.
They
There's
have
no
the
underlying
strangest
felony.
people.
I'm going to give you $5 here. It's a hush. It's a hush
Hey,
money
here's
payment.
the
if
deal.
you can just leave.
Here's the
Here
deal,
you
my
go.
friend. That has nothing to do with it, my
Here
friend.
you go.
What's the idea?
Yeah, I'm giving you hush money. Hush money.
Everyone got mad. They screamed more. So
Did
hush
somebody
payments
grab
aren't
some money out of
as
his hand?
effective
Okay.
as you want them to
Hold
be.
on.
But I'm still going to keep sending money.
Yeah,
I'm
What's the
giving
idea?
you hush
Look
money.
right there.
Hush money.
Dude,
Everyone got
they
mad.
tried. They
screamed
tried to
more,
grab the
so
money.
Hush payments aren't as
Somebody was like, "I
effective
need that money
Okay.
for a
as you
bobble."
want them to be. But I'm still going to keep sending money his way, and hopefully he'll take it.
Oh.
Just get the heck out of here.
Well, I don't
Oh,
know that the
Christ.
hush money payment works with him because I went up and interviewed him after. I didn't realize who I was talking to.
Right.
And I asked him his name.
Who is this dude?
I mean, we could show the video,
Is he somebody
but
special?
I asked him his name, and then I realized, oh my God, Giuliani. That's the same last name as the guy who did Four
You
Seasons
put that
Total.
together. 'Cause
Right
we've
in the
been following
moment.
this stuff pretty closely, and that name
Is
was
this like
ding,
Rudy
ding, ding, you
Giuliani's
remembered it
illegitimate
in the
son or
moment.
Do you
something?
mind if I just get your first and last name?
Sure. Who are you guys with?
Look at this guy.
TGL here.
TGL. Okay. Andrew Giuliani.
Andrew Giuliani.
Yes.
Giuliani. That's the last name of the guy who's at Total Landscaping, right? Four Seasons Total Landscaping.
Former mayor. New York. Yeah, America's mayor. That's right. Yeah.
The guy who was on national television sweating
One second.
hair dye.
We're gonna keep going. Hey, would you do me a favor? Would you record this interview? You got it. Awesome. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah.
So your father was the guy who was sweating hair dye on.
Okay, funny guy. So you like seeing our country just fall apart? Is that what you like there, funny guy?
I'm asking you a question. Could you just give me a yes or no? Was your dad?
I'm asking you a question. You like seeing our country fall apart? Yes or no?
Was your
Do
dad?
you like seeing our country fall apart the way it is?
Was your
Do you
dad?
like what's going on at the? Have you been up to the Roosevelt Hotel recently? Have you seen that there, buddy?
I'm just wondering why you
I'm
can't
asking
answer.
you a question.
You can't
You
answer
can't answer
one
it. Why
simple
can't you answer
question.
the question?
I
You
asked
come
you
out
a
with New
simple
Yorkers,
question.
You got to deal with the New York question. You can't deal
I
with
asked
it.
you a simple
Is that the
question.
deal? You can't
Was
do it.
your father
Why can't
the
you
guy
deal
who
with
was
it?
sweating
And I
hair
asked
dye?
you
He's
questions.
just
You like
asking,
seeing
just
our
say
country
no.
It's a yes
apart,
or
and
no
you
question.
can't answer.
All right, so that was the guy whose dad was sweating hair dye while spreading election lies after the 2020 election.
I'm sorry.
He couldn't
Oh,
answer a simple
fuck.
question, yes or no question.
Oh,
And
man.
that's just the state of America right now. Some people
Oh.
they want to be in positions of leadership, but they can't answer
They
a
can't
yes or no
answer.
question. I think that's why this country's
Trump
in the shape
supporters.
that it is right now.
Oh, Trump supporters. You guys have this brain fart. I don't understand it. Why don't you guys just say no? Just say no. Y'all grew up during the Dare generation. You should know that. Why wouldn't you just say no? Of all these times I've got on here with you guys, and I've been like, all right, perfect example. Delete funds, windmills, and magnets. All you have to do, Trump supporters, is when I say, do windmills cause cancer? You say, no. When I say, do magnets work underwater? You say, yes. And then we move on from the conversation because I'm like, oh shit, actually, this guy knows some things. This guy has watched some Bill Nye the Science Guy. This is a gentleman of knowledge. All right? This was a chance. If all you have to fucking say is no, Rudy Giuliani is not my father. In fact, you should want to say, even if he is your father, no, Rudy Giuliani is not my father. If I was Rudy Giuliani's child, which I believe there's a girl, a daughter, right, that's already doing this, I would tell people Rudy Giuliani wasn't my father. It's not that hard. Oh, Christ. Have you guys noticed this weird new YouTube setup? Did I get a virus? What's going on? Oh, man. Oh, fuck. Oh, right here. Oh, right here. I love this shit. Oh, my God, I'm dying. I'm dying. Why wouldn't you just say no? I don't understand, like, the brain-breaking, like, capability of these questions where they're just like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not falling into that trap. What is the trap? All right, this is Luke Beasley. And this is on point. I'm trying to work my way through the trial, guys. I'm trying to work my way through the trial. Oh yeah, the Wells. The Wells, that was another good one. Oh, man. Elon, dude, imagine what Elon's kids are going to be like. Just imagine what Elon's kids, they're going to be like, dude, I had nothing to do with this. I am so sorry. Xerxes the 7th, okay? Xerxes the 7th is going to be like really, like, you think that Michael Jackson's kids had a tough time? I'm sorry, Blanket, all right? I feel bad. Like, I do. You think that they had a hard time? Like, fucking, I feel for the children, dude. Like, they ain't do shit, okay? And they're going to have to grow up with that shit, all right? You know, fucking, I look at Barron. I'm like, first of all, Donald Trump obviously isn't Barron's father. Donald Trump's father is actually that kid that's playing on the Spurs right now. 100%. I can't say his last name, but he's the really tall kid. Victor something that I can't say. His name is too hard to say. That is actually Barron's father. I'm going to go ahead. We're going to start that conspiracy theory right now. Yeah, they're the same age. But look, this is Trump world. It don't have to make sense. All right? Y'all didn't know that. I just brought the facts. Okay? That's Barron's father. That's
in
right,
a
Barron's
previous
half black.
segment, Donald Trump's first day at trial in his criminal trial in Manhattan, and broke down the latest knowledge we have so far on what's been taking place there. And I did that with legal expert partners. But a detail has come
that's
out
a good
since
one.
That's sort of funny and lighthearted that I do want to talk
like that
about.
one.
That's an
That's a good
anecdote
one.
from inside the courtroom of Trump's behavior, I guess you would say. And what we'll do in this segment is first talk about that, and I'll show you what I'm referring to, and it's just funny, but it mainly emphasizes, which
God,
is why I want to talk
I love
about
Luke
it,
Beasley. He's such a
blatant
good kid.
hypocrisy on the part of the right-wing media echo
Still
chamber.
the Lord's work,
that first,
brother.
then we'll get to debunking a really prominent talking point we hear.
What's up, Dizzy
used
Izzy?
in service of Trump
Hope
amid
you're
the
doing good.
conversation about his potential criminality. So one of the ways people defend him is a talking point that we're gonna rip to shreds. Okay,
Jeremy,
and
did I
in the
get
process
you?
of doing that, learn some really interesting.
I wasn't talking about Tim Duncan.
Insights about an important topic. So with that being said,
Who might
first,
actually
make
be
sure you
Barron's
subscribe
father.
to this channel. Clicking the subscribe button goes a long way in growing the show.
Don't forget to
And
subscribe
here's
to
that
Luke
reporting I'm
Beasley,
talking
'cause
about.
he's
Yeah,
dope.
I have to ask, you guys have been, at the times, have been live blogging this
Also,
event.
don't forget to subscribe
And
to my
40
channel.
minutes ago, you wrote an observation that
For more jokes about
I was
who
very surprised.
Barron Trump's
Trump
father
appears
is.
to be sleeping. His head keeps dropping down, and his mouth goes slack. Tell us about that.
Hold on.
Well, Jake, he appeared to be asleep, and
Like, the news has become an SNL skit. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, and we all know this shit. Whether you're on the left or the right, you all know that the shit that you see on, like, mainstream TV, like CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, this shit is just straight up SNL. We're gonna play that again, because that was just absolutely amazing. One more time on this one. Oh, God.
Yeah, I have to ask, you guys have been, at the times, have been live blogging this event. And 40 minutes ago, you wrote an observation that I was very surprised. Trump appears to be sleeping. His head keeps dropping down, and his mouth goes slack. Tell us about that.
well, Jake, he appeared to be asleep, and usually his head would fall down. There have been other moments in other trials, like the Agent Carroll trial, which was around the corner in January, where he appeared very still and seemed as if he might be sleeping, but.
Just like the monotone voice they're saying it in is hilarious. I don't know, maybe you guys don't find this shit as funny as I do. Oh, maybe I'm the only one who thinks this shit's funny. But the monotone voice in which they're trying to, like, talk on the news about a former president in his first of 4 indictments falling asleep during his trial. This isn't real life. We might actually be in the Matrix, guys. Oh, my God. Oh. It's insane. It's insane.
Then he would move. This time, he didn't pay attention to a note that his lawyer glanced past him. His jaw kept falling on his chest, and his mouth kept going slack. Now, you know, sometimes people do fall asleep during court proceedings, but it's notable given the intensity of this morning and a lot of what was being argued.
Okay, I don't want to go all woke and shit, but that seems like the height of white privilege. I don't know how many. We need to do a study on this. How many black people or minorities are falling asleep during their trial? I don't think most minorities are like, oh shit, this is real. These motherfuckers want to put me in jail. I've seen the statistics. All right, nothing says I am a wealthy white politician, specifically a guy, like falling asleep during a trial that you potentially might get felonies. Like, you're like, fuck it seems like a good time to catch up on my Z's. All right? I'm not really that worried. Like, nothing says you are not concerned about the potential of going to prison, like falling to the fuck asleep during your trial. I can tell you guys this right now. If I'm on trial, I'm not falling asleep. Fucking insane.
Yeah, that's rather surprising.
So by
that's
itself,
a good call, Naughty.
Horrible? Is it bad?
Nana's
is Trump
got
doing
it.
something wrong by
He's drugged his
maybe
ass.
falling asleep inadvertently? No.
Oh God.
Now it's a little strange, to be honest. Day one of your
DJ,
criminal
no
trial,
shit.
you'd think you'd be paying attention, but even setting that aside, okay, you're really tired. Let's just say, oh, I don't know, you were truth socialing all night, and you're tired because
they did say that Donald Trump busted out a storm, no pun intended, a storm of tweets. Or truce? Do they call them truce over there? A storm of truce before he went to trial. Once again, if you are a young black dude about to go on trial for some bullshit, okay, you are not hitting up Twitter before you go on trial. You're not like, I better tweet about some shit. Let's talk about the judge's daughter a little bit. Yeah, fuck her. Yeah, she a hoe. Okay. Then you're not on there. You're not like fucking tweeting about the judge and how he better get this shit right. Like, there is 2-tier justice system. There is, folks. There is one tier where you have to stay the fuck awake during your trial, and another tier where apparently you can fall the fuck asleep because you don't care. That's the 2-tier justice system.
of that.
Oh my God.
It's just that if Biden did the exact same thing in this serious of a situation, first of all, imagine him being indicted 4 times and having a criminal trial at all. Fox News would lose their minds and say it was disqualifying, and then they won't say that with Trump.
Yeah,
but
and that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, guys. Look, if you're a Trump supporter, right now, just say this. Just say to yourself. Somebody said this when it came down to the Mueller report. They said, okay, if you're against Trump, you should put Obama's name in the Mueller report and then ask yourself, do I still feel the same way? If it said Obama potentially obstructed justice, if it said Obama potentially had a meeting with Russians at his Obama motel, that'd be a weird motel. I don't know, I'm for it. Do you still feel the same way? Do you feel the same way about it? Trump supporters, ask yourself, if Biden was on trial right now with 4 indictments and 91 felonies, you would be fucking losing your shit. You would be out there just fucking all the Jew signs and how much the Jews are doing. You'd be so angry right now. You'd be like, his ass better go to prison or else I'll burn down everything, brother. Like that's how I know you guys aren't fucking real. Because I can't get one of you to agree that if Biden's name was in it, well, yeah, because Biden's an actual criminal. Like, that's what you guys, I know how you guys think. I know the exact shit you would say. You can't put Trump in Biden's shoes and then say, well, I wouldn't want him prosecuted. No, he wouldn't have done anything. Because then you'd be a fucking hypocrite. Because you would. And you are. You can't even fucking type it out in chat. You can't say Trump has ever done anything wrong. It's the easiest fucking thing to ever do. I can tell you 10 things that Joe Biden has done wrong right fucking now. And you can't type out one in a fucking chat that no one will remember after this night. And you can't. That's how much of a cult you're in. Go Eagles. Fly Eagles, fly, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Even this specifically. They would do round-the-clock coverage of how Biden's falling apart and his brain is just grumbling and he can't stay awake. And how do I know that? Well, because there have been situations, not this serious.
Exactly, Zuni. If people break laws, it doesn't matter who the fuck they are.
In the
Press
crowd
charges.
or something and dozes off a little bit, and Fox News freaks out and does pretend like it's indicative of some broader issue. And they won't do that with Trump here. Now, I know what you're thinking.
Exactly, Mike.
Is this really a productive?
You fall asleep, you wake up in a fucking jail cell.
Hypocrisy. I've learned. Not really. I mean, often it doesn't change people's views, but it seems like sometimes you just have the obligation.
Karina, I'm
to
actually
say,
rooting for you too.
Blatant inconsistency here.
I watched that Bills
they would freak
documentary
out
and
if
I
this were
cried.
Biden.
I'm
They
no
won't.
fucking
The
doubt.
only chance that
Hold on.
we have.
Hold on. I'm sorry, guys, but we're gonna stop the stream for a minute and just talk about feelings, okay? Because we got a Bills fan in the chat, and Karina right now. I watched that fucking Bills documentary on Netflix and I cried. My tear ducts no longer work, and I somehow summon tears. I'll tell you, Jim Kelly, Thurman Thomas, Bruce Smith, it was James Lofton, man, 4 Super Bowls, man. My heart goes out to Bills fans. Look, if the American people were anything like Bills fans, we wouldn't be in this. Okay, well, actually, we probably would, because y'all keep throwing each other through tables. On the AFC side, I'm going for you. I'm going for you, Karina.
Have them talking about such a story as them saying the liberal media is being so unfair to Trump, and
it's all good. Just you being here is enough. I appreciate you being here.
Like
you can hit that sub button,
but again, not the biggest revelation in the world, but points out inconsistency. Then one of the talking points we hear a lot is that,
and Jim Kelly is the man,
Democrats,
by the way. Jim Kelly is
Trump
the
to be
goddamn
prosecuted,
man.
but they don't care about addressing any other types of crimes, right? Crimes raging while they're prosecuting Trump. And even though that's not how the enforcement of laws should work, where if violent crimes, for example, were to spike, you would just stop prosecuting other types of crime or stop holding people accountable for fraud, like Trump's civil case. It's also based on a complete lie about what's going on in the country, and you'll hear Trump say a lot that crime's spiking, but they're coming after me instead of real criminals.
Yeah.
And interesting.
Like, can't you guys, can you not admit that that's just fucking insanity? That's not how it works. That's not how the justice system works at all. Like, they don't stop, chasing down killers and people assaulting people to just concentrate on Donald Trump. That's literally not how any of this works. Dude, I see you guys, you come in here and you cry. We were just talking about Jim Kelly, okay? Jim Kelly went to Buffalo, where he didn't want to go. Played in the USFL at Houston to try to not go to Buffalo, okay? Spent 3-4 years. Was it USFL? I'm pretty sure it's USFL. The USFL goes bankrupt or gets folded in the NFL, and he goes, you know what, fuck it, I guess I'll go to Buffalo. They take him to Buffalo. He goes on to have a Hall of Fame career. He goes to 4 straight Super Bowls and loses every one of them. He loses his child, his son. As a parent, I can't comprehend living without my children. He loses his son. He then gets cancer. And he fights fucking cancer. And he's still a positive, hopeful, optimistic person after all of that. And he stayed in Buffalo. The man that didn't want to be there stayed there. He went through all of that shit. And you guys are on here crying about your dude losing. You guys are on here crying about how the guy you like the most The guy who sexually abused E. Jean Carroll. How he's been done wrong and he deserves to be the president. Do you realize how fucking crazy that is? Do you realize how full of shit you are? Jim Kelly should be the goddamn president. Let's be fucking honest. There's a person that deserves it. There's a person that has shown character and poise and leadership despite some of the worst shit ever happening. If you guys came in my chat right now and said that Jim Kelly has never done a goddamn thing wrong, I'd be like, fuck, I'm not saying shit about that. Y'all are right. That motherfucker won the election. Fuck Joe Biden. Let's overturn. I would have been at January 6th. I told you guys a million fucking times now. I hear what you're saying. You just picked the wrong goddamn dude. You should have picked Jim Kelly.
That segues us into a really nice, important conversation about what has been happening with crime. And we've talked about it a little bit, but now I have new insights to share with you on that. So to contextualize this conversation as we get into it, in 2020, who was the president in 2020? Trump.
Good job, David. Like that's all I'm asking.
Much of the right-wing media is trying to distort the timeline in a really weird way and pretend like Biden took over in a time that he didn't and Trump left in a time he didn't. So Trump was president when 2020 was the year. And in that year, we saw the largest increase in murders ever recorded. Now, I'm not saying that to say that that's because of Trump in full. The pandemic created conditions that created that crime spike. Now, Trump was actively mismanaging those.
Now, I want you to see something Luke Beasley did here, too. No Trump supporter will ever do that. Luke Beasley openly admitted, okay, the pandemic did play a part in that. Let's talk about it. This is why. This is what I said. I think Luke Beasley is doing it. I hope I'm doing it. But George Carlin's whole point of view was, I'm not up here to change your mind. I'm just here to show you that I used mine. And that's what Luke Beasley's doing right there. And people should look at this young dude that, he's what, half my age? 20, 30 years less than me? And he's up here, he's role modeling critical thinking for you. And there are 55, 65-year-old people out there right now that can't critically think the way this young dude is. He said, hey, I'm not saying it's totally him. I'm saying it also had this. But I'm also going to show you some things where it was his fault. You could do that too, and you would have so many more people looking at the arguments you make and going, actually, this dude might have a point. I told you, for $9.99, you guys super chat me a $9.99 Trump, I need an argument Trump supporter, and I'll steel man your position for you and make a better argument for your president than you will ever make in your entire fucking life. Because I can actually see through your eyes. I know how your brain works.
Conditions, so there is blame there, but let's just, for simplicity's sake, say pandemic caused that spike. Fair. Well, the reason that it's important to point that out is because that's the super important pretext for the Biden presidency. He had to inherit those circumstances, a crime surge, what he had to take over.
Yep, and Adam Mockler.
I insist on saying that a few times. That's what he had to take over.
Yeah, something James just said. I've been talking about this lately. It is working your way back from the conclusion, right? Like, so you say, I believe Trump is perfect. He's perfect. So working your way back from that conclusion means that every time somebody says he did something wrong, you say it didn't happen. Every time that somebody says that he made a mistake in policy, you go, no, I was doing better 4 years ago, which we all think is fucking insanity. That's an incredibly insane thing to say. Once again, you have the right idea and the wrong argument. Like, you could click it back 2 more years and people would have an argument. You could click it back to 2018. Trump supporters, I'll give you a free fucking one. You could go, were you better off than you were 6 years ago? And you would be like, somebody could fucking argue that. I wasn't, but you could argue that. But instead, you guys are so goddamn brain dead. You're like, 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Someone said 4 years ago, and I just repeat it. You can say 6 years ago, and you would actually have a goddamn argument. But you're so brain dead that you won't do that. I can't with you guys.
because immediately networks like Fox News started pretending like Biden was causing a crime surge that started before Biden was president. And they were just arguing that we shouldn't blame Trump for that crime surge because it was because of the pandemic. Crazy stuff. But that reality and keeping that context in mind makes what we're about to go through even more impressive. And so then, to stay on the Fox News example, they completely decided not to cover, after doing all this coverage of a crime surge, blaming it on Biden when that made no sense. They did not cover and refused to cover the fact that we're currently experiencing one of the most rapid plummets in crime in American history under Joe Biden. Now, because we care about being honest, and
immediately what Trump supporters are going to go is, yeah, but COVID. And you have to understand, that's fine. That's an acceptable portion of the argument. And you can talk about that, and we can think our way through who's right and who's wrong. But that also means we apply that to Donald Trump. You can't say but COVID for Biden, but not say COVID for Trump. Like, this is where your guys' arguments make zero fucking sense, is because literally in the same conversation, Trump supporters, you guys will go from COVID didn't affect Trump. Nope, those murders weren't his. You know, like fucking that's it. That wasn't him. The things he did during COVID, no. But Biden during COVID, yes. Like, that doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Assessing all the relevant information, not just the politically advantageous ones. Should we say that there was probably going to be a decrease in crime in the years following the worst of the pandemic? Yeah, probably. Absolutely. Now, who was president when that recovery was happening? Okay, but let's just say we were going to see a decrease in crime, but was it going to be this rapid and getting crime rates this low? Was that inevitable? And I think the answer is a resounding no, given that in other
I bought
developed
my house.
countries, they haven't seen this fast of a decrease in crime. And right now, violent crime got lower than it was before the crisis. So
yeah, and this is another argument for when people also, when they're talking about things decreasing, or when they're talking about jobs coming back. Jobs coming back is the same argument. So when people say, well, all the jobs that Joe Biden has created, first of all, he's created 6.5 million on top of the jobs that came back from COVID. That's one of the things that people like to conveniently leave out when they say all the jobs that came back were due to COVID. So if he had mishandled the pandemic, those jobs wouldn't have came back. That's the thing. Like, people want to talk about the statistic as though, oh, well, it was just guaranteed that all these people would get their jobs back. Well, that's not true. If businesses had gone under, you wouldn't have those jobs. If people had died, you wouldn't have those jobs. There'd be a lot of more jobs open, but there'd be a lot more dead people. If the economy went to shit, you wouldn't have had those jobs back. So it's fine to say, yes, due to COVID, Joe Biden had, 13 million jobs that were lost during the pandemic that then he re-picked up. But then on top of that, a certain percentage more were created. You have to give him credit for that because that's just statistically correct. And you have to also admit that if he had poorly managed the pandemic, that also those jobs would not have came back. Those businesses would not exist. The economy would be in shambles. We would be in a recession, and inflation, though it's still a bit dodgy, would be out of control. Because this isn't feelings. This is facts. These are statistics. These are things that can be verifiable through metrics that any single person that wants to look them up can find. Now, my job, gives me the ability to read these reports, these statistics in a way that makes it so I understand it. So if you want to say to me, well, hold on, Ginger, for you might be able to understand it, but to me, none of that makes any sense. That's an acceptable fucking answer. But you can't say, I get to have an opinion, but I also don't understand the information. That's just not fucking, that you are not helping the situation.
In just 3 years, seeing crime go from elevated levels,
25,
historic spike in homicides, down to pre-pandemic levels or lower in the case of violent crime is impressive. And that should be noted. So then are there policies you can point
David
to
Pacman
that
AI.
could have made this happen,
That's
made the
funny,
crime drop so rapid and it drop so low? And I think the answer on that is absolutely. So just to go through some examples, we don't have time to walk
Prick
through
is
all
showing
the
the extent of his vocabulary right now.
As we've done many times in the past, but we'll zero in on a few
looking for
examples
love
here.
in all
And
the
I
wrong
wish
places.
More of the media
Shit, you
would
know I know
do
that song.
coverage of these sorts of things. Under Biden, and hear me on this, this is just something you'd never hear in a lot of the media, but especially right-wing media.
You did
Under
spell
Biden,
biscuit
we've seen the
wrong, dog.
largest federal investment in law enforcement, public safety, and violence
You know you
reduction
can correct
in American
that, right?
history.
There's an
While
edit
Biden
function.
was being
I'm just
accused
trying to
of
help you out.
defunding the police. Crazy. And obviously, like I said, that's across a bunch of programs that adds up to that. But just to give you a few examples in the recovery effort, specifically the American Rescue Plan.
He might be live right
really
now.
Necessary.
If he's live, you should
that
probably
helped
be
to pull
watching
us
him,
out
not
of
me.
The crisis we were in that provided billions to local governments to prevent police department budget cuts amid that economic pain and to hire more trained and skilled police officers. You also have 1.
And this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Trump supporters, this is what you guys lack. He's like literally giving facts. He's giving information. He's leading you from one step to the other in this kind of like fluid manner to help you better understand the argument. You guys do such a shit job of arguing your point of view. Like, this is really, in my opinion, I'm trying to help you guys out because conversation-wise, we have to have conversations. You guys got to be able to hold up your end too. But the problem with you guys is you guys only feel things. You only have these like emotional responses to people saying that Donald Trump sucks, and you're like, "Fuck you, brother." Okay, I'll tell you this right now: Donald Trump doesn't suck. He's the greatest president of all time. And that's not a response. That doesn't in any way. Here you go. Okay, let's help it prick out. Let's help it prick out. I'll just put you on timeout. Okay, dog. We're gonna go timeout. Okay, if you can survive 10 minutes, brother. If you can make it 10 minutes, you can come back in. Oh, you got fucked. Mod came through. Oh, shit. Oh, he was just showing everybody that, like, the words he learned to spell. You know, he was just showing people. He was like, look, guys, he was proud of himself. He was really, really proud of the words that he learned to spell in 5th grade. And that was the year he dropped out. But you guys hear what I'm saying? Trump supporters, if you really want to fucking actually talk to people, if there are Trump supporters in my chat, A-Prick just got kicked out, but if there are Trump supporters in my chat, I'm just telling you guys, you have to have better arguments. You guys sometimes even have, like, you're going down the right path to things that we should talk about, but you're so shit at making arguments that no one can have a conversation with you because you just go straight to fucking idiocracy. You're like, ouch my balls, and fucking great trash avalanche of 2025, okay? And fucking, you know, like, don't bother me, I'm baiting. That's literally your A-Prick. He was the perfect example. If you guys want to fucking talk about any of these things, we can talk about it. But you have to use your words. Use your words. All right. You guys want to watch the rest of Luke Beasley's video? Luke Beasley's video is Trump did this during his trial. You guys should go check that out. All right. We haven't watched a professional douche video in a minute. And I just wanted to point out that the professional douche looks like he is maybe George Santos' son. I think that's a possibility. Like, if you look at those two, there is some resemblance. I feel bad that I said that. And I kind of want to take it back now. But he does kind of look like him. All right? Don't hate on me. All right, here we go.
If you've seen Sacha Baron Cohen's Who is America, then you know politicians can be duped into saying the strangest things.
Yes.
Blink 182 pheromones. The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is
a good child with a gun. Happy shooting, kids.
I wanted to see how far I could push this, so I may or may not have contacted George Santos on Cameo. I have a question. What won't a politician do or say for money? The answer
John's
to that
making the best
question,
arguments.
In George Santos's case, is nothing, apparently. In case you don't know,
yeah, he did. Well,
the
no
North
fucking
American
doubt he
Man
did.
Boy Love Association is an organization that seeks to put an end to age of consent.
Oh, God, I didn't know that's what this is about. I did not know this shit existed. And then my good friend Ruby over I'll Be That News. Ruby, shameless plug for Ruby at I'll Be That News. I thought she was trolling me and she started talking about NAMBLA. NAMBLA actually exists. Was I getting trolled, or is this real shit? Because I was convinced during this conversation with Ruby that it was a real thing. But I guess I never looked that shit up, and I never will, because I can't have that shit in my computer history, okay? So last thing I need anybody to find on my computer is NAMBLA, okay? I don't need to be Googling, is NAMBLA real? So one of you people out there, Google that shit, and then let me know. John, you do that shit, okay? John probably already knows.
So men in their 40s can have a relationship with boys in their
exactly, Mike.
preteens
Mike
and-
knows what I'm saying.
Yeah. Anyways, this is a pretty well-known organization. A simple internet search would have told
It's
you
real,
that something
Stretch?
was amiss. I mean,
Oh,
South
shit.
Park has
Hold on.
done an
Hold on.
episode about NAMBLA.
Hold on.
A simple internet search would have told
Yeah, he
George
searched
that
it.
something was amiss.
He searched it. Dude, you've got to be kidding me. Okay, all right. Okay, all right.
I mean, South Park has
What the
done an
fuck,
episode
people?
about NAMBLA.
And I'd like to take a minute to hear some testimonials from members. This is boring. Yeah.
Hey, when are we gonna get to some action?
Ooh.
Here we go.
Hi, Nambla. I just wanted to stop by to offer you my full support and
Oh
that
my
I am
God,
here for
buddy.
you if you need anything.
George!
I want to congratulate you on your success and on your
Dog,
anniversary
no!
this past December.
Oh, no!
I just wanted you to know you're doing a great job and you're doing great things.
Who the fuck would look that up before they... George Santos is full of shit. He's full of shit. He should know that everybody else is full of shit. Why would he not look this shit up? Oh my God.
And the world is a better place because of you. We all love you, and I love you, Nambla. Mwah. All the best.
No!
I mean, these are the idiots in charge. These are the guys passing our laws.
Well, he's
If
not
he
anymore,
can be
don't worry.
duped by this, then imagine what other politicians are duped by.
Oh my God. That, come on. Oh my God. It hurts my brain. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. All right, we're gonna, what we got here? We got Bo. Okay, you guys, we want Bo, or do we want to watch the longer video? Which one we want to watch? We want to watch Legia or Bo? Let's end this poll. That was insane. That was absolutely insane. I like it. I almost removed my own message. Thoughts and prayers of 59%. Thoughts and prayers. Yeah, I've watched Scared Ketchup. I love Scared Ketchup. All right, guys, here you go. Last video. Here we go. Last video. We go Bo or Legia. Legia is long, okay? So Legia is 30 minutes. Bo is 9. Last video of the night. You guys vote. You want to watch Bo? I know I spelled his name wrong. I know that. We can watch Bo. 9 minutes long, which I'll turn into a 45-minute video, of course. Or Legia, which is 30 minutes, which we'll have to pause a little less, but we're probably talking an hour with Legia. Bo the 5th. So far we got Bo. Bo going once. I like it long. Stretch, welcome to the chat. Appreciate you being here. Don't forget to sub up, guys, while we're doing the while we are doing the voting for the Bo versus Legia videos. Do not forget that you can support me through super chats. You can support me by joining the Angry Ginger Army. It's only $3 a month for the low price of 10 cents a day. You can support a soulless ginger, and I don't want to talk about Bo with the 5th column. I'm talking about this soulless ginger. Okay, I'm not as cool as Bo, but I'm working on it. You can also buy, we have sweatshirts, t-shirts, we have 91 felonies, we have a lock him up, we got a make angry great again, we got, what else we got? We got I'm not going to talk to you till you read a book. You can check out all that stuff down below. There should be links to all that stuff. Let's see. let's see. What else can you do? That's about it for support me. And also, you can just be here. You can sub to the channel. You can hit like on the like button because you know there's at least 6 or 7 haters. A-Prick has hit that dislike button. So the more likes that we get on the channel, the more people see it, the more people you have to talk to, the more Trump supporters that see it, the more that I roast and we all get to laugh at. So all of those things can happen. So feel free to like, subscribe, make sure to turn on notifications, and make sure to go into your settings and turn on all notifications because you will not get notified if you just hit the bell. YouTube's just kind of bad like that. So appreciate you guys. Love you guys being here. And we are going to close the polling in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the survey says only a ginger can call another ginger ginger. Damn right, Rob. Damn right. All right, here we go. Free meth for all. MAGA making the best vote you possibly can. You are bringing in the voters hardcore with that one, Nicholas. All right, we're gonna do Bo. Bo wins with 64%. If you guys, so we're gonna watch Bo. But if you guys haven't watched it, we'll watch this on stream at one point. But it's called Our Collective Distraction is Bad for Democracy. And, you know, Legion likes to bring the knowledge. And so you guys should check out that video. If you don't know who Legion Miller is amazing. As I've said a million times, Legion Miller is me and her BFFs in up here. She doesn't know it, but we are. We are BFFs, okay? And I will never let Legion down, okay? Here we go. This is going to be Bo the Fifth calling, and it's called... let's talk about Trump starting to lose them. I haven't watched this video. I don't know what it is. I actually haven't watched any Bo in a while. So let's hear what Bo has to say.
Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So today we are going to talk about how Trump is losing some of them. His core group of voters, that core base. And why...
Real quick, let's ask you guys. How many of you guys think he is losing voters? I think that he's not losing his core voters, but I do think that people, the closer it gets to November 5th, the more people have to think about like their moral responsibility. I was just talking about the 3-body problem. If you guys watch that on Netflix, it poses some moral responsibility questions. Climate change, it poses some moral responsibility problems. You know, what is the impact on the future generation? What's going to happen to them with what you do now? And I think that the closer we get to November 5th, the more you're going to see people that have a higher moral calling saying to themselves, I cannot justify voting for a person that is so willing to harm the future of America for his own benefit, to keep his own ass out of jail. And I think that he is going to lose the people that are on the fringe, not just the independents, but the Republicans on the fringe. I think that they are going to have a come to Jesus moment in which they decide that they are not that shit of a human being and they can't do that to their children and their grandchildren. And that's who he's going to lose. I do not believe he's going to lose his core followers, though, because I believe they're in a cult.
A certain issue is so difficult for Republicans to navigate.
Exactly, Don.
We're going to talk about statistics.
And Nicholas, I don't doubt that that's true, too.
It's going to require the majority of people
Nana, night Nana,
to step outside of their own beliefs and look at something from a different point of view. So we are definitely talking about how Republicans...
Captain, you got me, Captain.
This topic has come in a bunch of different ways, but we're going to use an example that happened to a friend of mine. He was talking to this person.
My headset's about to die.
And this person we know, they're Republican. Super Republican. Like Trump stickers, Trump flags.
You guys are so weird with your merchandise. Yeah, the merchandise is so weird.
He says that he's not voting for Trump now because he's a single-issue voter.
Oh, under a single issue.
And he views Trump as a, quote, sellout.
Oh.
Because Trump is, according to him, in favor of a 15-week ban. Now, I went back and looked. There's reporting in February that says that he privately said that he was in favor of a 16-week ban. So we're going to use that because that's what the reporting says. You, most people watching this channel, you're in favor of reproductive rights, family planning, all of that stuff. You hear a 16-week ban and you're like, no way, absolutely not. Here's the thing. Those people who are in favor of restrictions and they truly believe in this cause and this is their single issue, they're also saying, no way. Why?
Yeah, it's a good question.
If you're a single issue voter, if you have a cause that is near and dear to your heart, you know a lot about it.
Exactly,
There's
Mike.
a whole bunch of people watching this channel who are very unhappy with how Biden has handled the Middle East. I would be willing to bet
No, Wallace, I
that
think a
most
lot of people agree with you.
would be able to give me an estimate as to the number of lost. That's pretty close.
Yeah, we're talking about
They're the same
politics,
way.
Rose.
They know the numbers. So, using numbers from 2021 from the CDC. Why 2021? Because it's before Dobbs, and that's going to become important in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Using those numbers, if you enacted a 16-week ban, what percentage of procedures would you stop? Take a guess. I can't tell you exactly because the CDC numbers, they're...
I know that I know that there's only 1% of all abortions happen after 25 weeks or 26 weeks. It's 1%, I want to say, of all abortions, and those are only in the case of saving the life of the mother, as I understand it. I want to say that abortion statistics after 16 weeks, I'm going to say, and I could be fucking this up because it's been a long time since I did the research for the paper I wrote on this, and also these are statistics for 2021. I think I wrote this right around Roe v. Wade. I want to say it's less than 10%, but I could be wrong. It could be as high as 15.
Our milestone is 13 weeks. So if it was at 13 weeks sooner, it would stop about a little more than 6%.
Yep, there you go. Boom! Fucking got it. Oh, Cowboys fan.
Not good enough for them.
VA. Don't come in here like that. Don't come in here like that. That hurts. Okay? That hurts.
Now, back in March, Carrie Lake out in Arizona, she said she believed that the issue would settle somewhere between 15 and 24 weeks.
Just so you know, you guys are going to be really bad this year,
because that's
VA.
kind of
Okay?
in the middle of that, and that's one of the CDC milestones. If it was a 20-week ban, what percentage would it stop? About 1.
Yeah, 1%. I know that one. I'm a winner.
About 1%.
God, I'm good at this.
And this
I can
part
remember
is
statistics.
anecdotal. This isn't part of the CDC numbers. But from what I understand, most of that 1%, those would be exemptions. Like
Yeah, it's almost all exemptions. Yeah, as far as I understand
a 20-week
it. Uh-oh.
ban is basically throwing away Dobbs.
My headset died.
It's going back to that. And for this group of people, that was their big win. And Republicans who are embracing the more moderate ideas, they're throwing that win away.
Hold on, I got to answer this question because I like this question. Who do you vote for this year, VA? Do you know who you vote for? You go and you look up legislation. You don't need to watch speeches. You don't need to hear pretty words. You don't need talking heads telling you who or who you shouldn't vote for. You should go and you should look up the legislation because you have a president that was for 4 years and a president that's currently in 4 years. You should go up and look up their legislation, and you should look to the person that best represents your values, that best represents, if you have children, the future that your children are going to have. I don't think that anybody should be listening to celebrities. I don't think that anybody should be listening to talking heads like myself or other people. I think that everybody should be doing their part and looking up what people have actually done during their time in office and then choosing to vote based off of that. I am choosing to vote for Joe Biden based off of the legislation that he has passed and the job that he has done since the pandemic. I don't vote for Joe Biden because he's the best talker. I don't vote for Joe Biden because he's the most charismatic person. I don't vote for Joe Biden because I think he's perfect. I think that there's lots of stuff that Joe Biden is doing wrong or has done wrong that I disagree with, but I also think there's a lot of stuff that he did right. And when I compare the two records between Trump and Biden, my personal choice is to vote for Joe Biden. But your choice should be your personal choice. If we get what we want by telling people to vote for the person we want, that's just not a very long-lasting solution. That doesn't have a good end. The way that America gets better and things get better in America is by people becoming more involved, understanding that their vote does matter, and getting educated to the things that they constantly vote against that are for them and the things that they vote for that are against them. Because if we're all dependent on people telling us who to vote for, then you're just literally being, you're just an ant. You're just part of the system. But if you get educated and you start now, it might not be this year. It may not be next year. It might not be until the next election. But you'll be a vital part of the system. You'll be able to vote for people that help the middle class get stronger. You'll be able to vote for people that are going to put money into education that are going to improve the lives of your children. We don't have to agree on climate change. We don't have to agree on abortion. We don't have to agree on economics. We don't have to agree on any of those things. But the one thing we do have to agree on is that if we're not making decisions based off information, then we're not making decisions. We're just doing what we're told. So I'm not interested in telling people who they should vote for. I think people should vote for who they think is going to do the best job. That's who you should vote for. Yeah, but who should I vote for? Stretch. Funny. Yeah, so Jess has her point of view. And I already put forth my point of view too. You know, my point of view is I have progressive values. I have some values that people would actually consider right-leaning because I approve of funding the NASA space program. And a lot of people on the left, specifically progressives, don't think that we should be funding the space program when we could be taking care of homeless people or veterans. It's a really complicated subject, and I could go deep into why I would rather see money in space funding because I believe in, oh God, the trickle-down effect of the space program. Don't unsubscribe. But that's considered a bit of a right-leaning point of view. I believe in the death penalty for certain individuals. I believe that people that harm children, I don't believe that they can get better. I believe that it's mental illness. That's a disorder. I believe in a woman's right to choice. That's kind of my single issue vote, right? Is the right to choice. I think that people should have the right to choose. I believe in Second Amendment rights, but I also believe in red flag laws. I also believe in background checks. I believe in accountability laws for parents that leave their guns out where kids can get them and then they take them to schools and they shoot up a school. I think that people need to get out of the mentality of that I'm in a party, and they need to get into the mentality of I have values, and those values are represented by me and the people that I vote for. And if I vote for somebody and they don't represent my values, then I will not vote for them again. One of our biggest problems is that people like Chuck Grassley are still in office, regardless of the fact. Republicans, day in and day out, point out that Joe Biden is 82 years old. Is he 82 now? 81? Yet Chuck Grassley will be 98 by the time he is out of office, and they voted for him. Republicans will say they're against abortion, but then they will root for Israel in a conflict that has killed potentially 13,000 children. I'm not telling you what I think about those situations. I'm telling you that those are hypocrisy. That's hypocrisy. Now, when I say Republicans, now you're going to say, well, I'm Republican and I don't support that. That's what I'm saying, is we have to get out of that. We have to realize that people have to show their values and support those values and vote for those values, and not just say, I vote pro-life because I'm Republican, or I vote, I'm for Israel because I'm Republican. That shouldn't be that way. It should be because you believe that there are reasons that Israel should be supported. It should be because you have reasons that you support Palestinians. It should be because you have reasons for supporting women's right to choice. Or it should be because you have reasons to be pro-life. But it should never be, it's because I'm part of this party. We have a chance to break the mold. We have a chance to get out of this like rut that America is in. And that rut is 2 lanes. And we can do that by supporting things like ranked choice voting. And we can do that by stop joining gangs and just role modeling our values. Mind your bubble. Show the people around you that what you believe is the right thing, and hopefully people will do that. That's how I feel about that. You can support whatever you want, but at least show that you understand what you know. You know that's what's important.
In the eyes of that core single issue voter group.
I killed the sound. Hold on. I've done this before. This is not my first rodeo. Bucket's probably not in here anymore to make fun of my technical difficulties.
At 24 weeks, I have no idea.
Right, let's go back a little bit.
To voter the more moderate ideas, they're throwing that win away in the eyes of that core single issue voter.
I just like the
group.
Electoral College. Here, we'll get back to
20
this in a second because I like that question too. What do I think about the Electoral College? So I think that the Electoral College, which actually comes from a French system during, I want to say, Napoleon's days. It might have been actually after Napoleon, but I think it was due to the French Revolution. The way I feel about the Electoral College is that it's once again a system that has some values in attempting to help people like the Midwest have more say in how things are being done. But I think much like everything that we do, it's lost its glamour. It's lost its glitz, right? Like, there's way more people in America now than there was when the Electoral College was enacted. When I was just talking to Ira Shapiro, I brought up the age of the Senate. He brought up the age of laws and how old a lot of these laws are and how they need to be changed. I think something like the Electoral College, maybe you don't have to completely dump it. I think that the popular vote, personally, just like from my uneducated point of view on it, the popular vote should be the vote. I think it should be whoever the most people in America want as their president gets to be the president. But I can understand the argument from people that say, well, then I won't feel like I'm fairly represented by the president. So I myself, if you held a gun to my head today and said Electoral College or popular vote, I would say popular vote. But if you gave me a week or two, I might change that opinion based off information that I accrued during that time. But currently, where I'm at is I'm a big fan of not completely trashing systems, but instead finding their flaws and imperfections and attempting to work within systems to make them better and update them, because I believe that we use too many things that have that were appropriate for a completely different time. That's how I feel like that. If a ginger watches a ginger watching a ginger, does it open? Yeah, well, we all just entered that hole right now. Yeah, like modernizing it. Exactly, Don. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. People continue to forget that China is actually doing a pretty good job right now. So their economy is kind of shit. Of all the places that got most impacted by COVID, China got the worst impact on their economy. China is also very frustrated right now with the semiconductor production that they have to get from Taiwan. That's why they're pretty aggressive towards Taiwan right now, because they're in a really bad place. They can't just invade Taiwan because they can't just kill everybody there and like take over the factories because they don't have the skill to run the factories. They know they can't bomb it because then they destroy the factories that are highly needed by the Chinese right now. I think they import something like 400 or 500 billion dollars worth of semiconductors per year right now. It's like an insane amount. But their space program and their green program actually are well ahead. Their green program right now is, I think, 5 years ahead of its where they wanted to be. A lot of people look at China as being like the #1 polluter, and they think, oh, they're not doing anything for green energy, and that's not true. Once again, that's one of those things people want you to believe, that China is like, oh, they're just polluting, and that they're never going to do green energy, and America doing it is just a waste, and it's going to hurt our economy and not their economy. The Chinese are actually very intelligent about the way that they go about things, and they know that the future of technology is green energy. Whether or not you believe in climate change or not doesn't matter. It's where technology is going, and green energy is super efficient, and once it gets to a point where you have like battery storage for solar power or windmill power or water power, people aren't going to understand how beneficial something like green energy is economically until it happens. That right now people live under the either climate change is going to kill everybody or climate change isn't real. And really, you're missing the main point of the conversation, is that as far as economies go, green energy is actually extremely important. Are my stripper donations tax deductible, Craven? They should be. That is 100% should be. Let's see. They can't even invade because all those factories are rigged to blow. Yeah, exactly, Jess. So it's like actually a really crazy. If you don't know about the situation in China and Taiwan, you should actually look it up. And when people talk about like Americans not, like China this, China that, a lot of the things people don't understand is a lot of the aggression through China is because of American posturing. We put troops down in Guam and the Philippines and areas around that strait where they get all of their trade through on purpose to make sure that China understands that if they were to attempt to invade the Taiwanese province, whatever it would be, the Taiwanese island, I guess is what it would be, that they would be in big trouble. They would have a really hard time invading Taiwan, keeping Americans at bay, not destroying factories, and not killing off people that they need to run those factories because, like I said, they're highly skilled people. This guy eats corn the long way. Damn right I do. Just for you. Skeeky? That's a shitty name. Change your name, bro. But if you want to watch, I'll sell you a video for $9.99. Okay, start by taking in the immigrants and your money by helping them, let them stay in your... Okay, that makes zero fucking sense, old school planet. Okay, start by taking in the immigrants and your money by helping them, let them stay in your progressive hellhole. That zero sense, bro. Can you write that in a better sentence? Is there any way that you can write that in a way that is actually decipherable or comprehensible? Team Gingivitis. Samplers, welcome to the chat, Sampler. He mostly likes brush his teeth with both hands. Bro, me and your mom, we do it together. Nah, it's fine. Let him be in there. Let him be in there. Look, one of my points of view is to show the entire world that people like this exist and they vote for Trump. That's one of my favorite fucking things, guys. I go on there and I put up a short and all these Trump supporters come out of the fucking woodwork saying the most vile, dumb shit, the most uncomprehendable, insane shit. And then the world gets to see it. Everybody gets to see that shit. That's amazing. They do the Lord's work. I keep saying it and I'll keep saying it. Trump supporters, just like Trump, are their own worst enemies. Don't shut them up. Let them talk. It's fucking amazing. The Trump supporter movement does more damage to Trump than any left-wing or liberal or progressive possibly could do. Any movement could do. Trump supporters are their own worst enemies, and it's amazing. Yeah, well, I grew up in a really good place, or a really bad place. But if you fuck with the other people in comments, I'll just end up blocking you. So there are lines, bruh.
24 weeks, I have no idea what it would be. So this is why this issue is so difficult for Republicans. The moderate position, it's as if Dobbs never happened. Sure, they might appeal to some independents that way, but they lose that core base, that activated base that has supported them for so long because they're unhappy with it.
But he's speaking logically.
If they go the other way and they go to those really
I don't think
early
Biden
ones,
knows me, old school.
well, they lose the independence.
Pretty sure Biden doesn't know who I am.
They need both
Big dog.
to win.
Was that your change? And did you reduce that down to that?
This is what happens when you're the dog that caught the car.
You literally can't back that up with
For
facts.
a very long
old school.
time, the Republican Party fused with this cause. They made it their thing. Now they have the power to do something about it, and they're not doing anything. In the eyes of that group, they're not doing anything because what's being proposed, it doesn't accomplish what they wanted. I'm sure there are Democratic Party members who can relate to this. So the thing to keep in mind is that, well, the person we know, no, I definitely believe him when he says he's not voting for him now.
That's interesting.
But
That's super
I would imagine
interesting.
that most single issue voters like this, they would probably still vote Republican. But it might cost a point or two. And if you're a
that
candidate
might be enough.
who, hypothetically speaking, already lost to the person you're running against once, you need every point you can get. If you're in a competitive district, you need every point you can get. This has put them in a position where they have no clue how to navigate it. Because if they go after the independents, they will certainly lose some of their base. If they appease their base, they will certainly lose independents. They're in a tough spot. And to understand why, you have to understand these numbers. Because that single issue voting bloc, they know these. They absolutely know these. So that's what's going on. That's why there is so much turmoil in the Republican Party. Because they made so many promises for so long. And now they're finding out they're really hard to keep. And if they don't keep them, they know that some of their base is going to look at them like they sold out. And in this case, it's something that they view as moral. In some cases, it's an edict from God.
I'm in Cali. It's amazing.
They're in a tough spot. This is going to play more.
You're just mad that you
in this
ain't
election.
in Cali.
This issue is going to play more in 2024 than I think people are giving it
I
credit
love Bo.
for. Because right now, most people are focused on the independents. Understand, if the Republican Party appeases them, they've got a whole new issue on their hands.
Yep.
Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.
Just a thought. And here's the big difference. This is what I'm saying, Don. So when Bo goes on his channel and Bo speaks like this, he represents the people that he wants to represent. He speaks intelligently. He speaks calmly. He talks about subjects that matter. He speaks logically. Meanwhile, the people that want to vote for Donald Trump are in my chat saying dumb shit like blow up my foreskin or you eat corn from the end or whatever dumb shit that they say. at the end of the day, I'm from the trailer park, dog. None of that shit hurts my feelings. I'm not concerned about none of that. But at the end of the day, you guys, you want to sit there and you want to say dumb shit. You want to talk like you actually know something about something that everybody knows you don't. It comes out in the things you say. People watch you and they see you and they go, oh, fuck, that's a Trump supporter? God, I don't want anything to do with those guys. But they watch somebody like Bo and they go, seems like a good dude. Seems like he's logical. Seems like he's a critical thinker. So, it's November 5th is 7 months from now. 7 months from now is November 5th. That's a long time for Trump supporters to shoot themselves in the foot. And everybody's going to watch you do it. Because nowadays, there's a camera everywhere. There's internet everywhere. The forums last forever. And they see everything you say. And I think it's kind of amazing. Thank you guys. I appreciate you guys so much for being here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. We're going to continue to do bigger and bigger things. We're going to continue to reach more and more people. And when November 5th comes around, it doesn't matter who wins the presidency. Because I'll still be here. If Trump's there, I'll be talking shit. If Joe Biden's there, well, I'll still be holding him. I'll still be being critical about Joe Biden. Because that's what we're supposed to do. You're not supposed to be in a cult. You're not supposed to think somebody's perfect. And if you do, you might be in a cult. Just saying. All right, guys. Love you to death. Thank you for asking the questions. Thank you for the people that push back. Thank you. I love pushback. I like people asking questions. I like when people say they don't agree with me. I like all of that stuff. So continue to do that. Continue to say, hey, I think this way about that, or I think this way about that, and let's have conversations. Whether you are on the right or you are on the left, or if you're like me and you don't want to join a gang, keep pushing back. Keep asking questions. All right, guys. I love you guys to death. I appreciate you guys so much. Remember, if you got a husband, you got a wife, you got a girlfriend, you got a boyfriend, kiss them. You got kids, hug them. And remember to go outside, get some sunshine, touch some grass. Don't be on YouTube all day long. Go outside and have conversations, guy. Love you. Bye.